Welcome to the Weekend Live Show. 508. We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. 508 is where I'm from. Let us know in the comments right now where you repping. Is where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
Marshfield, New Bedford, Brockton, Malden, Tucsonville, Manchester, Albuquerque's in the Hampton, Hubbardston, Quincy, Hudson, Gardner, Manhattan, Conway, New Hampshire, the Garden City, Agawam, Poison, Plymouth, Pittsburgh, Lake Titicaca, Los Angeles.
This year, cause we're ruthless, yeah, that's some true shit. You don't wanna mess with cheddar in this cup, we left you catch in the ambulance.
You have a job? What do you do?
Leave your clothes, buddy, and then we're scooping up your friends. 508. Where I'm from, 508 is where I'm from.
You lived, I'd come to your house, I'd sit outside, roast marshmallows right in your fucking yard.
NFL on the house, come on,
Let's get this party started, shall we?
Yo, what's up, turtle people? How's everyone doing tonight? Good, excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second here just to do something, and there we go. Cool. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the Saturday night edition of the Turtleboy Live Show. If you guys are new here, we do this every Tuesday and Saturday night, usually at 9 p.m., depending on if there's a sport ball match, which with the way things are going right now, I'm not sure if there's going to be too many of those left, but we'll see. I don't even want to talk about last night and the absolute abortion of a performance that the Boston Celtics put up. And Grant Williams, I never want to see him play ever again. I never want to see Joe Mazzulla play ever again. I would love it if Jason Tatum, played basketball in the fourth quarter. That would be cool. But I just can't watch. It's so fucking hard. So anyway, guys, welcome to the show. If you're new here, if you're a new watcher, or if you're a returnee and you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me right now. It's really important you do that. We're closing in on, I think, 34,000 subs. So that's pretty cool. You get like a thing from YouTube. You get like a plaque if you get 100,000. Tim Pool had one at his house. You got one for 100,000 and then 500,000 and then 1 million. So one step at a time. Let's get to 100K. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. And because I'm going to be doing, I did some, Celtic streams this week. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. I think I cursed them, but also I'm definitely going to be doing some on Thursday, because on Thursday I will be in Dedham for the evidentiary hearing in the Karen Reed murder trial at Norfolk Superior Court. There's going to be a lot of fireworks for there. I know who a couple of the witnesses are going to be. I've been tipped off about a couple of them. So it's going to be some sparks flying. There's been some paperwork sent out. Some people have been told they need to come to court. Could be very, very interesting. Court on Thursday is at 9:30 a.m. So I will be there bright and early. It's going to be very interesting. There's been a lot of new revelations in this case over the last, even I'd say week, but really the last 24 hours, 48 hours. So the Rumble stream isn't working. Hold on. Did I not do it right? Should be working. Yeah, the Rumble stream's working. I'm going to go. Oh, thanks for the reminder. I'm going to share the Rumble stream in the comments right now. Right there. You guys can, by the way, so they took down episode, I think 575 for us, the second Canton one. And they do that a lot on YouTube. It's very censorious on this platform. So we're probably not meant to last on here, if I'm being completely honest. I don't trust anything owned by Google. It's a left-wing tech company. But Rumble is a viable free speech alternative. So you might as well, if you haven't created a Rumble channel, you really should. So go over. I just put the link in the comments. I'll do it again. Boom. Right there. If you guys would like to subscribe to our Rumble channel and watch over there. How many people we got over on Rumble? We got 43 watching on Rumble, so that's cool. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Like I said, but still, you should subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're going to do this as long as we can. We also do a stream on Thursday night, but you got to be a Turtle Club subscriber to do that. And by the way, I need to change this. The glasses are going to annoy me. Hold on. We get that. No, wrong way. This way. Okay, that's 2 green. That's like a nice balance right there. We'll go with that. Okay. So, yeah, Turtle Club, basically you get paid $15 a month and you get, it's worth it for the no ads. I'll tell you that much right now. No ads on the website. It runs very smoothly. I know the ads are a pain in the ass. I get it, but consider it just like your way of supporting independent journalism. It's 50 cents a day if you do it that way. And you get access to the Thursday night streams that no one else gets. And you get access to a free t-shirt of your choice. So check it out. And speaking of the Turtleboy store, guys, I'm going to put it right now in the comment section. Get those 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃 how long to die in cold online searches, dude. Those are going like hotcakes. So check it out in the Turtleboy store. Lots of good stuff in there. Get yourself some stuff today. The store's all fixed. I know there were some issues with it before, but go check it out. Also, we got Reddit now. I've been told to say that we are on Reddit. And we have a subreddit, so Reddit. I have a love-hate relationship with Reddit. I mean, it's a cool platform. A lot of interesting shit is on there, but also a lot of cunts. A very high percentage of cunts. Like the cunt to non-cunt ratio on Reddit is higher than any other platform out there, and like just some of the most miserable people on earth. And even with the Karen Reed story and all this coming out with John O'Keefe and all this stuff, even like they're like, oh, this is great stuff, but also he's a cunt. But also, like, I wish it was coming from somewhere else. But that's the thing, sweetheart. It's not coming from somewhere else. It's only coming from us, and it's only going to keep coming from us. So go and check out. We have gained some popularity on Reddit. We have a subreddit. It's called just Turtleboy Daily News. So go check out the subreddit. If you're a Redditor, get on there, check out the Turtleboy store. And yeah, so there's all that. And follow me on social media. My Instagram is at Turtleboy_Daily_News. Facebook, my personal account is Clarence was Emerson. Turtleboy is the regular Facebook page. Go follow we just passed 21,000. Follow that. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Dr. Turtleboy. That's DOCTOR Turtleboy. Because if Jill Biden is doctor, then I am definitely a doctor. Yeah, like whenever Turtleboy is shared on Reddit on one of these like Boston or Massachusetts or Worcester ones, it's like they're just like, oh, Turtleboy. And everyone's anonymous on Reddit too. That's what's kind of gay about Reddit. That's why I'll never get into it. I don't do the anonymous shit, even though it's ironic because this blog was literally founded on anonymity. I get it, but everybody kind of knew who I was from the beginning. If you actually gave a shit and you like looked into it, you could figure out who I was. It wasn't a big secret. But I have a new policy, like on Facebook. And on Twitter, it's the same thing. I engage way too much with these people who don't even use the real names, and they're like on here. It's like I'll engage with you if you can disagree with me all you want. You can support this bullshit prosecution of Karen Reed if you want. I will engage with you with it, but you need to use your real name. And all of these cunts are doing it behind a fake account. And that's what I can't stand about these people. It's like you're so ashamed of your position that you're not even willing to put your name on it. So if you're not even willing to put your name on it, then I'm going to exert no effort into even talking to you. And I'm just going to block you because you're unworthy of being on the same equal playing field as me as far as a conversation goes. Because you know, all I ask is just say who you are. And that's not like a threat. I'm not going to dox you or anything like that. But just own it. Just own it. Like, we should know who you are if you're saying these things, because I say who I am. And that's all Reddit is. Reddit is 100% anonymous cunts. So they can all go to hell. I hate them all. So, but I'm not going to do the Reddit. We have other people that do that. So go and check it out if you haven't done so already. All right. Last pitch here. Last thing. If you guys like the program and you'd like to support our renegade brand of independent journalism, you can't donate with the super chat because Google took that away from us. They're like, you guys want to give him money? We can't allow that free exchange of cap in a free country. We just can't allow that to happen. So, we got Deb backstage too. Hey, Deb, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good day. So Deb, Deb's gonna. I can't keep up with the comments. So Deb's like, I'm gonna do the comments as far as like, you know, bringing people up, like, you know, stuff like that. I don't have time because I'm getting the comments are getting more and more these days, and it's like I can't read the comments. It'll throw me off. So Deb's gonna take care of that, right, Deb?
That's what I'm doing.
All right, cool. So here's the deal, guys. if you guys would like to donate, you can't with Super Chat, but we built our own platform. It's called Turtle Chat. If you click at the link at the top, that brings you to a link called Turtle Chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want from that, and you get to write a little message. When you do that, I will get an email in the Turtle Chat, and I will read it out loud to the class. You can also cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and the same thing applies there. So, okay, we got a lot of interesting shit to talk about tonight, folks. So pay attention. It's all going to be on the quiz. There's some shit going on right now in Canton at one of the homes that we've been looking into. We got people there sending us pictures from right now. I got pictures coming in right now. Some shit's going down there. No one's getting arrested or anything like that, but it is as shady as it gets. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're mostly going to talk about Canton tonight. Maybe we'll do some 𝗏𝗏𝗴𝗹 at the end. I don't know if he's old news. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to Ratchet Madness. Deb, have you been paying attention to Ratchet Madness?
Not as much as in past years because it's been so hectic with all this.
Yeah, it really has. It's a shame. But check it out. We're down to our Sweet 16, and this is the most wide open field I've ever seen in Ratchet Madness. I really don't know who's going to win. Usually I have like a clear-cut favorite. I think Mike Fucci is probably one of the top ones, but Audrey Robinson has been killing it. Kendra Lara. It's stacked. Krusty Panties is still alive. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So let's just jump right into the first thing that I want to talk about here. And okay, so first of all, just these cunts. Before we get to Paul O'Keefe, I want to talk about these cunts. These douche canoes. These guys. So I'm like, I looked these guys up in court. I saw these guys in court, right? They come in acting like all hardos. There they are standing behind me. They were standing next to me, rather, in court the whole time, like with their shaved heads. And one came in with the scally cap. And it's like, this is how, again, they rolled into court. There they go. Oh, badass scally cap. Oh, tough guys with the shaved head. Like the last guy, especially, is walking with a purpose, all angry. Don't mess with me. We're all dressed up like literal brown shirts. And what are they doing there? A state police are not on trial here. Like a state police officer was not, a state police trooper was not killed here. A Boston cop was. So why are you guys there and your stuff? And the only reason they are there is literally to be like, you know what? We've seen the controversy about this state trooper who lied repeatedly in a murder investigation, appears to be covering up for murderers, didn't hand over evidence to the defense that he was supposed to, appears to have planted evidence, very likely repeatedly lied and misspelled things on police reports in order to cover for his friends. We're here because we want to make it clear in case there's any doubt in the world about this or any sort of misunderstanding that we support this scumbag 1000%. That's what their presence in court meant. Is that like we've seen because they haven't come to anything else. They have literally no reason to be here. The state police are not involved. Like the state police are neither the victim in this case nor the defendant. So they're literally there to show their support for this extremely controversial and conflicted state trooper who lies repeatedly. In case you're wondering where the state police stood on that. Now, I understand these guys are union acts, okay? And union obviously has to stand by their members, but they really don't. They really don't. Like when I compared it to teachers, like when teachers get caught diddling a kid, and it happens far too often, the union does not back you up. Like they will give you due process. They will pay for your attorney because they have to, because you pay union dues and you're entitled to that. But they ain't gonna be like stand out in the courthouse steps and say, we're this guy, all these kids accusing this teacher of diddling them. Fuck them. We're here to support our guy, the chemistry teacher who diddled them all during third period. We got their back. Because that's essentially what they're doing right now, is they're standing in solidarity with the man who is famous, essentially at this point, for being a corrupt cop. Like, we support corruption, in case the state police didn't want to make that any more clear. So anyway, there they are walking in. And again, this is a list of all the things that Michael Proctor has done wrong in this case. He has intentionally spelt the names wrong of at least 4 witnesses, probably more, who were present inside the home of 34 Fairview Road the night John O'Keefe was murdered, because he does not want their names to come up in searches. Doesn't want to, have them tied to this, wants to protect them. He lied in his report that he got to Karen Reed's parents' homes at 4:30 and towed her car at 5:30, because we have call logs now from the Dayton Police Department and alarm.com footage showing that he called to have it towed hours earlier. His whereabouts were unaccounted for as a result of that for almost 2 hours, giving him private access to Karen Reed's vehicle. Next thing you know, sprinkle, sprinkle, tail light. That's the only evidence that ties her to this. He did not record any interviews with any witnesses, including Karen Reed, whose testimony with him is disputed. Again, this man is conflicted. He said in the testimony that she said the only mention of a 3-point turn is what he claims she told him when he questioned her. He did not do it on tape. Cops literally tape everything, especially in a murder investigation, specifically to avoid situations like this where the defendant's like, I never said that. Failing to disclose that he was family friends with the Albert and McCabe families, kind of a big deal. Giving the McCabe and Albert families hours to get their story straight. Interviewing them in the comfort of Jen McCabe's home definitely is not policy. Withholding the geofence data and deleting a lot of shit, quite frankly, that directly like the Jen McCabe, when he handed over the cell phone stuff, he never handed over anything about a Google search. And so the defense paid an independent expert out of pocket to do a much more thorough forensic audit of this phone for the shit that she's deleted, because Jen McCabe voluntarily handed over her phone because she deleted all the shit. And a couple days later, she's like, okay, it's scrubbed. Here you go. And they hand over all the shit. And Michael Proctor's like, well, I don't see any messages in here. Dum, 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 dum. But he intentionally did not look for them and do the full data extract. And Rick Green did. And he came back with How Long to Die in Cold. And that changed everything. That got my attention. That changed this case. How Long to Die in Cold changed everything. Like I said, I emailed David Procopio from the state police to ask, why is this man still on the job? I have a lot of concerns about this. He's just like, we have no comment. And then he never got back to me on my return email. Anyway, the troopers that were there are, I don't know who this despicable me looking motherfucker is. But this gentleman right here who just come on. This guy is just dying at the thought of being an extra in The Departed 2. Like, isn't he, folks? He masturbates to that. Like, he's, oh my God, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to have a line. Oh, it's going to be awesome. He's been he looks every morning. He wakes up in the mirror and he does it. He like lays the axe. He's already got it in his head what he's going to say, what his line's going to be. On there is one line. He can't wait. And of course, his name is Patrick McNamara. I mean, of course it is Patrick freaking McNamara. And there he is right there. And these two are like tied at the freaking hip. Every freaking time I see them there together. Dude, this guy's so weird looking too. Jesus Christ. He hasn't been a cop in a long time. I mean, these are the kind of guys that don't go into policing to be police. It's like administrators in high schools. Like those people didn't go into education to become teachers and work with kids. They came there to make more money, rise in status, and stroke their own egos. These guys did not go into policing to be police. They went into policing to be in the union and eventually become union hacks. And that's exactly what they are. Now they get to wear these special suits. I guarantee this guy owns at least 25 suits and loves them. Like irons it the night before, lays it out. Like, what suit am I going to wear today? I'm going to take a picture with some political hack, some state rep. This is my freaking state senator, 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹𝗶𝗶. I'm meeting 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹𝗶𝗶 today. I need to look fresh. We're going to come there and I'm going to stand like this, like I always do. Every single picture. Yeah. Anyway, so I found it interesting that he's there for this really scummy trooper who he doesn't need to be there for. He's going out of his way to be there. But where was he 2 years ago when Trooper Samantha 𝗟𝗲, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗋, Samantha's father was killed in the line of duty in 2005 as a state trooper. What the hell does that sound? Fucker. Damn it, Janetti, go away. Oh my God. Can you guys hear that sound? I got to get off of Instagram. Hold on. I have a crackhead calling me right now, so I'm going to log out of this account. So it stops. I need to log out of this goddamn account. Janetti, stop calling. Stop it. I'm okay. No, it's not your time, Janetti. You've had your time. Anyway, I think I'm logged out. All right. So, no, I'm not letting him come on. Janetti's had way more than his 15 minutes of fame, hasn't he? I mean, if you want to watch the Janetti episodes, go watch them a couple years ago. They're hilarious, but we're doing like real reporting shit now, not making fun of crackheads like Mike Janetti. I feel like we've outgrown his transgender baby is still mine. Okay. I still can't believe he took me to court over that. He's fucking calling me. God damn this guy. Anyway, I'm just going to turn the fucking phone off. There you go. Stop calling me, Janetti. So Samantha 𝗟𝗟 was the daughter of a state trooper, and she decided that she was going to become a state trooper herself. And she unfortunately didn't want to get the jab. And that was a problem for Charlie Baker, because he said that he wanted, you all have to get vaccinated. And most of them just went along with it because that's the way they like the cops, is just anybody who just follows orders. I have nothing against anybody who got vaccinated, by the way. It's a personal choice. But they obviously want people who will just do as they're told. And she didn't want to do it. She has no reason to get vaccinated. And she not only was fired, but they didn't even show up. Like nobody showed up to have her back. This is her. She had family and friends there. They literally showed up to humiliate her, take her badge, gun, car, and she has to sign the paperwork to hand it all over. And where was Patrick McNamara for that? Nowhere to be found. Oh wait, actually, he was on Twitter, guys. He was on Twitter. Shameful. Whoa. Take it easy there. Take it easy there, Patrick McNamara. Let Charlie Baker live. Don't kill him. I mean, whoa. You're burying him in mean tweets. Charlie Baker will rue the day he ever fucked with you, won't he? So there's some mean tweets there, but he doesn't actually show up. But he'll show up for a corrupt trooper. And there with the goddamn scally cap, like, oh Jesus, like who do you think you are, pal? Every picture of this guy is with the cap, the tough guy stance, just the ridiculous suits. Here's another state rep he's with. Here we are. Oh, these suits. Like, dude, what's with the Doc Rivers suit, dude? What are you doing? Anyway, golf tournaments. Here they are meeting with more state reps. Like, this guy lives. Look at this face. Look at that face. Look at that tough guy face. Oh, he's so tough. Oh, he's so tough. Oh God, what? I looked at this guy and I'm just like, I know this kind of person, what he's like as a real person. It's like, this is just a fucking phony ass piece of shit, fake tough guy. That's all he is. There, Marty Walsh. Just an ass kisser. Here he is. This is what he loves.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Chairs 𝗟𝗲𝗄𝗃, Gonzalez, and the members of the Joint Committee of Public Safety and Homeland Security. My name is Patrick McNamara. I've been a trooper for the Massachusetts State Police since 2012 and I currently serve as the Vice President of the State Police Association, Massachusetts. I am here today.
Hold on 1 sec. You guys want to see this fucking guy? What do you want, Janetti? What do you want? What? You keep calling me. What do you want? And he hangs up. Stops. I heard a baby in the background. Jesus Christ.
To testify in support of two identical bills, House 2545 and Senate 1641, both titled An Act Relative to the Diverse Recruitment and Reform of the Massachusetts State Police.
Anyway,
these bills seek to bring them.
You get the point. This guy's not a cop. He's just a fucking suit. He is what he is. Okay. Anyway, he virtue signals a lot, blah, blah, blah. He also sells scally caps, so he does that. He's got a really important job. And how about this picture too? Like, he'll come to your freaking wedding. Like, what? Hey, honey, we're going to have the union guys stand in the background. Because what bride doesn't want to take a picture with the union guys who didn't even wear a freaking tie to his wedding? Okay, so that's good. All right, so let's talk about the Paul O'Keefe thing. So this was controversial, and I did notice a lot of comments. Like, this is kind of one of the first blogs I've written that a lot of turtle writers are like, I agree with you, Turtle Boy, but this is not good. You should not have done this. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you tonight why you're 1000% wrong and ridiculous, because I absolutely should have done this. I should have done this a while ago, quite frankly. I waited too long to do this. So let's talk about it. So John O'Keefe is one of 3 children. His sister died 10 years ago of cancer, and then there's his brother Paul. And I noticed that one day that John O'Keefe's Facebook account is active. And, you know, somebody was on there, and I'm like, okay, so let's message it. Hold on 1 second. Let me just see if, I don't know if the turtle chat's not working. I just need to make sure this is working. Give me 1 sec. Oh. Hey, Deb. Do we mute Deb? Is Deb there? Hey, are you able to bring up comments?
They won't, like, you can't, the thing's not there. I think I have to log in under you.
Oh, you do? Well, can you?
I think I still have, I can do that, right? I'm just gonna message you. It'll just tell me, like, and you need to send me the code or whatever.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, hold on, I'll be back.
All right, let me see if the Stripe is working. Okay, today's May 20th, right? I'm getting a bunch of turtle chats, but they're not freaking coming on. So I'm not getting the messages for them. I apologize. Let me check my spam. Anything spam? Nope. So if you sent the turtle chat, I can, you can message me. So I'm going to read off a couple turtle chats before we get started here. All right. So we got one from, I think this is, that's an order. Hold on. Order. All right. We got one from Trevor. He sends $25. I didn't get the message that came along with it. So Trevor, if you want to send a message along, you're free to do so. I don't know. Sometimes this happens with Turtle Chat. I don't get the chat, but we also got 10 here from John. I don't see a message there. Okay. But again, same thing with John. We got, what else do we have here? We have 25 from Mark. I appreciate that, Mark. 25 from DW. Thank you very much, DW. We have 25 from Christina and 10 from Robert. So thank you guys for the donos there. Appreciate that. If you guys, if you're one of those people who donated, you like to have your message read out loud, just send me an email at turtleboysports@gmail.com and I'll just read your freaking email that way. How about that? We'll do it that way. I'm not getting the turtle chat receipts. If anyone else wants to donate, you should be able to. I mean, You can do Cash App too. I'm at $ Uncle Turtleboy. I'll definitely get that. So anyway, let's talk about this whole situation here. So Paul O'Keefe, I messaged the page, and because I'm like, that's weird that page is up. And I did notice that all of the pictures of Karen Reed have been taken down from the page. I remember looking last year into this, and I remember seeing pictures of them together. They seemed like a happy couple. But they're all gone now, which means whoever's running the account is deleting evidence, really. I mean, that's evidence that would show that they seem to be in a happy relationship. That's evidence that eliminates motive. Like if the motive is they're so unhappy together that she's just was so angry and she ran him over with her car going 5 miles an hour in reverse and then made it look like he got chewed up by wolves, then deleting Facebook pictures of them and messages would seem to be you withholding evidence that could exonerate the defendant in this case. And so I want to know who was running the page. And, you know, I really didn't want to write about this because obviously Paul O'Keefe and the O'Keefe family are the victim's immediate family members. And that's a sensitive issue. And I'm certainly not trying to turn them into the villains. I'm still not turning them into the villains, I feel like. But after having a long conversation with this man, it was so enlightening. I learned a lot from this conversation that I did not know before. And it really gave me some insight. And I thought it was newsworthy, quite frankly, because at no point in the conversation does he ever ask to keep any of this off the record. Like at no point does he ask for any of this to be kept off the record. And that's what, you know, he knew who he was talking to. I messaged him on April 29th. I did not hear back from the account until May 14th, I want to say. And he knew exactly who I was. He watches every show. He reads every blog. So he knows that, like, if you message me and you speak on the record about this stuff, which you're doing, if you don't say off the record, then all of this can come out. And I feel like he kind of wanted it to. You know, I don't know what his goal was, but he said a lot. And so I had a long conversation with him, and I'm like, this is a really sensitive issue. And I realized that, and I wanted to treat it like that. And I feel like the way in which I wrote this blog, I feel like it was done in a respectful manner. I really do. So let's just go over it. And if you disagree, that's fine, but I'm going to show you why you're wrong. So I said, I'm just wondering because you care what we think. And I'm like, who is we? I go, figure it out like you have everything else. I'm like, are you protecting the people who killed him? How am I doing that? Am I in on the cover-up too? It's like, no, but in my opinion, anyone who is sitting on that side of the courtroom is supporting a fake investigation against somebody who is clearly not the person who killed John O'Keefe. And every minute invested in that is time that could be spent investigating who actually did this. So it is literally just a waste of time. And if you actually cared about justice for John O'Keefe, forget Karen Reed all aside, like forget what the damage that you're doing to her and her family. But just for John's sake, you're wasting his time. You're wasting everyone's time with this nonsense. And there's too much information out there that's publicly available right now for you to say, I don't know. Like if you are the kind of person that's coming to these court cases, it's because you're allegedly invested in this, right? So you can't, if you're not reading the filings, if you're not looking at the evidence, then you're not really invested. You don't really give a shit. Like, I'm sorry, you don't. You don't. You can't tell me, like, if I should not know more about this case than John O'Keefe's family members? I shouldn't. And if that hurts your feelings, and if you think that's insensitive, I just want to be very clear right now, just in case there's any confusion. I apologize for nothing, for absolutely nothing. Your feelings are meaningless. I don't give a shit if you're hurt by that. I don't care if you're offended by that. You must be new here if you think that I'm the kind of person who who is remotely moved by I'm offended. I'm not. I'm the other guy. I'm the other guy who cares about facts, who cares about evidence, who cares about reality. I'm not here to coddle your feelings. And that goes for Paul O'Keefe too. I'm sorry. Paul O'Keefe is a grown-ass man in his 40s who suffered a horrible tragedy 16 months ago. 16 months ago. A lot of people suffer tragedies. And eventually, you have to snap out of it. And you have to do what's best for your family. And you're not doing that. And I'm not going to coddle you over that. A lot of people in the comments are coddling him. Oh, you should let him be. You should let him be. It's, he lost a loved one. Yep, he did. Yep, a lot of people have lost loved ones. A lot. He's not the first person in the world to suffer tragedy. A lot of people had. That does not give anyone the excuse to participate in this charade, this ridiculous attempted lynching, and that's what it is. It's an attempted lynching of Karen Reed. So enough of this. Enough of your whining cunts. Your words mean nothing to me. I laugh at you. You look like a freaking idiot, and you're gonna look dumber as this comes along. Okay? So here we go. So anyway, back to the conversation. I said, I don't know who you are, because when he says, how am I doing that? Am I in on this cover up too? And we're going to see a lot of that theme, like mocking the idea that there's a cover up. I go, I don't know who you are or why you're running a dead man's Facebook page, but if you're supporting the prosecution of Karen Reed, you are clearly protecting John's killers. Fact, not opinion. Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe are sitting in court every week, every hearing, making a mockery of this. And you're going along with it, aren't you? And he says, why are you messaging a dead man's Facebook page to see who's running it? You will see the real truth soon. I've already seen the truth, son. I know what the truth is, and that's all I care about. Do you? Let's find out. I go, and what do you think the truth is? I go, well, this is obviously Paul then. I figured it out. I saw you leaving with Kerry Roberts. And then he goes, you're an investigator. Look into her. Her is Karen Reed. Okay. And I am going to look into this. You're an investigator. Look into her. Why is the ring footage deleted from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. at his house? So Karen Reed left, got back to his house around, I think they say 12:40, 12:35, 12:40. And there's ring camera footage there. That footage is gone. Along with a lot of other shit, it's gone. And like the Canton Library shit, it's gone. The footage afterwards is there, and the footage before is there. They got her backing out, but they don't have her coming in. Because if they had her coming in, you would almost 1000% see that the taillight would be intact, which means that she did not just strike John O'Keefe with her car. So that's gone. I do have here, Deb, you can use the 𝗟𝗏𝗴𝗹 account. That should work. 𝗟𝗏𝗴𝗹. Okay, give me one sec. So I'm going to talk about this ring camera footage since Paul O'Keefe wants to bring it up. We're going to talk about it. He told me to look into it. And Paul, you told me to look into something. I'm a man of my word. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So give me one moment to message this to myself. Copy. Why isn't it copying and pasting? Give me one sec. I might have to screenshot this. I have a PDF. Call Paul. No, I'm not calling Paul. Stop it. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm being respectful. So you need a 6-digit code? Give me one sec. Deb's trying to get in the background, so I just got to take care of this. Okay. It was emailed to me, you said? All right, I'm sending it in the chat real quick. Deb, so you'll have it. Okay, you got it. All right. Just give me 1 sec. How can I copy this? Am I gonna have to freaking copy? Am I gonna have to screenshot this whole freaking thing? Copy. All right, give me 1 minute, guys. I'm gonna have to screenshot this whole thing because it is not. No. It's a 12-page document. Now, I just went and pulled it from, and Paul O'Keefe could do this too. He could just go on mass courts or just call up the courthouse and ask for these documents and get all of them. I've done that. Nothing is stopping him from doing this. He wants to know about the ring camera footage, and I'm like, you know what? A lot of people have been asking about that, so I'm just going to go and figure it out myself, because that's what award-winning journalists do. They pull paperwork, they get answers to questions, etc. Give me 1 sec. They do screenshots of PDFs because they can't figure out how to copy and paste it from them. All right.
I am here.
Here, how you doing, Deb?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. You got on okay?
Yeah, now I can pin comments.
That sounds great. Give me 1 sec. Bring up some good ones if you can while I send this
All right,
screen.
I'm looking.
All right, hold on. It's not fucking sending. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on 1 sec. This is being a pain. Actually, did I send some of these? Be right there, guys. I apologize for the delay. Bring up some funny comments, will you, Deb?
I'm fine and stuff. I'm looking.
All right. All right, hold on.
Say funny things, people.
Yeah, let's see. All right, how many have I sent here?
Mega Mortis says you're playing Turtle Sudoku.
I'm playing, yeah, right, something like that.
That's what you're doing instead.
No, it's like, so what I'm doing right now is I can't copy the fucking link to the PDF that I have of this.
Yeah, you have to download it, don't you?
And so what I'm doing is I just screenshotted the entire thing, and now I am down, and I just sent screenshots of the whole thing to myself on Facebook Messenger, and now I'm downloading those screenshots one by one so I can show you guys the PDF. Okay, so this should work.
See, look what he goes through for you people.
What's up?
You won't, no links you won't go to for everybody.
Yes, exactly, because you guys need the truth. Actually, they said I can. Oh, I did open the file. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna get this. Copy.
Laura's gonna be going crazy.
Problem is it's not the problem. Oh, it's staticky because the phone's near. Okay. The problem is I can't, when I copy it, nothing comes up on copy, and I go to email. It's like not copying. So whatever. I just send myself the whole thing. So I'm gonna pull them up right now. Give me 1 sec.
Oh yeah, we can do that now while you're pulling it up. We could do regular up, and then people occupy themselves.
We'll wait in a minute because it takes a long time to read those out loud. All right, so we got some. Let me bring this up. So Paul O'Keefe wants me. What did he say in the message? Let me pull this up. Could someone have accessed the ring footage utilizing O'Keefe's phone? We're going to get to that actually. So again, what Paul O'Keefe told me and I don't know if there's still static here.
No, you're good now.
He asked me, why is the ring footage deleted from the house? And so let's go find out. Let's go answer your question, Paul. Let's go do that right now. Because I know Paul's watching and I want to help Paul out because he needs to know about this. All right. So this is a motion for production of search warrant and missing ring video recordings from One Meadows Avenue in Canton, Massachusetts. A motion by Karen Reed herself. Okay. So right away, guys, what we have here is like Paul is making it seem like the missing ring camera footage is a result of shenanigans on Karen Reed's part. She must have deleted the ring camera footage, right? Because it makes there's probably a broken taillight. That's what he's getting at there, right? Except if the missing footage showed she had a broken taillight, then why is she the one demanding it from the court? Riddle me that one. Because she wants the court to produce evidence that will what? Make her guilty? Why would she want that? That makes no sense whatsoever. So let's read this. I don't know if you guys can read that if it's too small. But
you can enlarge it a little bit.
Okay, I'll just make it bigger over here. We'll do it like this. So it says, now comes the the defendant Karen Reed, honorable court, blah, blah, blah. She's looking for, she's respectfully moves this honorable court to compel the Commonwealth to produce forthwith a copy of the search warrant, including the application, affidavit, and return obtained by investigators for ring video recordings from One Meadows Avenue, Canton, Massachusetts. The defendant further moves for the complete production from ring, which would have included a cover letter along with proprietary information about when the cameras were motion activated, as well as the ring footage recording in the Commonwealth's possession. So she asks, they've asked for it all, Paul. As grounds, therefore, the defendant states the following. On October 5th, this court, Judge Kearney, presiding, ordered the Commonwealth to produce copy of all ring video surveillance footage stored on Mr. O'Keefe's device, which captures the exterior of his residence located at 1 Meadow Ave between January 28th and January 29th. On November 14th, so the court orders the Commonwealth, aka Michael Proctor and Adam Lally, to hand over all evidence, all of the ring camera footage, because they're the ones that have it. So they need to hand it over. The court says so. On November 14th, having not received all of the ordered video recordings, counsel emailed Norfolk County ADA Adam Lally for production of complete archive of ring videos from One Meadows, consistent with the court's October 5th order. On January 5th, the entire defense team participated in a Zoom video conference with Lally, informing him of the discovery material that was still outstanding, including the missing ring videos. During that meeting, Adam Lally revealed to counsel for the first time that investigators had obtained and executed a search warrant for ring videos. So he's like, we did it. We did a search warrant. We got all the videos. And yeah, actually, yeah. Hold on one sec. I would love to have this in just a PDF, actually, so I don't have to do the screenshots. If I can get. Actually, can I get it here? Give me one sec. This is be a lot smoother if it's not in screenshot form. I'm just saying. Will this work if I download it? Copy. Can I send it to myself on email? Let's find out. Storage almost full. Okay. Unfucking. Oh, that's why. I have so much fucking bullshit on my phone that I can't copy something to my goddamn clipboard. That's the problem. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. If it could get emailed to me, that'd be great. Okay. So anyway, for now, we'll focus on this. How long does the Ring company maintain video footage of its clients? We're going to get to that. Okay. So on January 5th, the entire defense team looks for it. And during that meeting, 𝗟𝗏𝗃 revealed that they have a search warrant. He also informed counsel during that meeting that he would produce the requested materials by January 16th. He does this a lot. He's like, I'll get it to you. And then he never does. Attorney Elizabeth Little emailed 𝗟𝗏𝗃 to confirm that he would be producing the Ring search warrant as well as the complete production from Ring by January 16th, 2023. So let's bring up our next screenshot here. Let me see. So that would bring us to number 4. So we're on number 5. One moment. These are a little out of order. 8. Okay. So here's the rest of that one. On January 16th, 2023, and to date, the defendant has yet to receive the Ring search warrant and the complete production from Ring. It is clear that some of the surveillance footage is missing or has not been provided by the Commonwealth to the defendant. There are videos that have been produced which depict John O'Keefe's vehicle in different positions, yet not videos of the vehicle having been moved in the interim. Given that Ring cameras are motion activated, there are videos still to be provided. So guys, there's the defense has asked for all the Ring camera videos and they're not getting them. They can get anything they want. And by the way, if the allegation is that Karen Reed, deleted? I think that's what they're saying, that she must have deleted the Ring camera footage. Then you can find out who logged in at what time. Ring has the ability to do that, to find out who logged in at what time. And you would be able to know if she did. So if she went on there, and by the way, when would she have deleted it and why? So she would have, she got home, and then when did she delete it though? Because when Karen Reed leaves his house at 5:40 a.m., there's video of her backing into his car, right? She never returns to the house after that, except to go back when John O'Keefe's family was there. So are they saying that she deleted the Ring camera footage in front of his family? Because that's wild. That's quite the accusation. And that has not happened. So let's bring up the next document here that we have. No, one sec. Let me find it. All right, how about this? All right, defendant's motion to compel discovery. All documents relating to chain of, so this is the defense asking for stuff. All documents relating to chain of custody and or the logging of evidence prepared by law enforcement in connection with this case, including but not limited to evidence obtained by the Canton Police Department and Massachusetts State Police. All 911 logs and dispatch records for this incident. All call logs and tapes and complete recordings of 911 calls relating to the incident, including a complete copy of the initial 911 call made by Jennifer McCabe at 6:04 a.m. So they want that 911 call. And you're going to see.
They have an incomplete one? I didn't see that before.
What was that?
They have an incomplete 911 call? That's crazy.
They have a lot of incomplete stuff. Yeah, because the defense has an incomplete recording of the initial 911 call placed by Jennifer McCabe at approximately 6:04. We are requesting a copy of the entire recording. So there's a different recording of that phone call. Let's just put it that way. All crime scene photographs taken in connection with this case, including but not limited to the photographs documenting the purported recovery of pieces of white and red plastic. Okay. And the judge approves all of this. Like 1, 2, 3, and 4, she allows all of those. She allows 5, 12, 13, and 15. She denies 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 14. We're going to see what those are in 1 second as I go into the next piece of paper. Let's go into the next one. All right. No, not that one.
Good point.
What? What
This comment. Funny, she was allegedly so drunk and angry that she backed over her boyfriend and didn't realize it, but then was suddenly so calm and collected that she deleted ring camera footage and other evidence.
But when did she delete it? Like, that's my question. Like, but she only deleted some of it. She didn't delete the part where she backed into his car.
That would be, if there was any incrimination part, that would be there. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
This makes no sense.
Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. Hold on. Do we have the rest of that one? I have it here somewhere. Sorry. Give me 1 sec, guys. Where'd the rest of it go? I had the fucking rest of it. There's 5. Hold on. I'm going to get it, guys. Don't worry. Because there's 4. It ended at 4. I need the rest of it. Hold on. I got to send this one to myself one more time. One more screenshot here I'm missing. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. This is the one I need. Okay. All right. 1 sec. Does this work? All right, this works. Okay, cool. I got it. Let me bring up this one. Yes, they are sus as fuck, as the kids would say these days. That's right. All right, so here we go. So this is the rest of that one. They're asking for photographs of all physical evidence collected in connection with the case, including the metadata associated with those photographs. So that all gets allowed by the judge. The ones that are not allowed are all communications between and among law enforcement agents from the Canton Police Department and or the state police, with the witnesses, including Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Higgins, Caitlin Albert, Colin Albert, Ryan Nagel, Julie Nagel, Kerry Roberts, and or Julie Albert. All communications between Proctor and all of those people, all communications between Canton Police Chief Ken Berkowitz and any of those people. And by the way, I feel like we're forgetting about old Kenny Berkowitz here. Like, he's kind of underrated in this whole thing, but what an asshole this guy is. Like, that guy, think about them. Ken Berkowitz is the guy who found taillight evidence a week later. I mean, just think how crazy this is. He's also the same guy who contacted on Twitter a news reporter who mentioned the fact that John O'Keefe's body was found at Brian Albert's house and asked him to take the tweet down naming Brian Albert because he was a pillar of the community. And a week afterwards, he was just happened to be driving by the scene and he found taillight, more evidence, taillight, just found it, just like that. And obviously that was not missed by a whole bunch of searches. He obviously put that there. Let's keep it a buck. He put that there. The chief of police of Canton felt so left out of a conspiracy to frame a woman for murder. He felt left out. He's like, I want to get in on this too. That he planted his own evidence a week later. Is that not the most fucking bizarre aspect of this whole fucking thing? Is the chief of police felt left out of a conspiracy to frame a woman for murder that he decided to insert himself into it a week freaking later. Like that. And I 1000% believe he did that because I've seen the messages that he wrote to the reporter asking him to take down the tweet because he was where's his piece of mind? He doesn't even gain anything out of it. Like, what does he gain besides like just being a part of something? That's all Kenny Berkowitz wanted to do, is just be a part of something. A lot could have happened in a week. Give me a break. Anyway, all communications between them, that all gets denied. So that all gets denied. Okay, so let's go on to the next aspect of this here. So that was number 9. Okay, I think this is here's the good stuff. Okay, I got the good stuff here. And this goes back to answering Paul O'Keefe's question about, like, are you going to investigate this? Yes, I am, Paul. Thank you for a reminder. I'm going to do just that. So here we go. It says a complete set of exhibits presented to the grand jury in this case. This should include identification of how these exhibits are marked. That gets allowed. And number 12, a copy of all ring video surveillance footage stored on Mr. O'Keefe's device, which captures the exterior of his residence located at 1 Meadows Ave between January 28th and January 29th. So they ask for all this, and it gets allowed, and they just never provide it. So I hope I answered your question, Paul O'Keefe, because you asked, and I'm happy to answer it for you. And the answer to that is, again, let's bring up his comment in this message. You're an investigator. Look into her. Why is the ring footage deleted from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock? That's a great question. And it appears as if Karen Reed is asking the same question. Can we get that footage? Because you can't delete it. It would be the police would have evidence that she deleted it. It would be very easy to prove that. You can see who deleted it. You can see who goes in and does that. But they don't do that. And so there you go, Paul. I went and answered your question for you. How about this? Why were they in such a hurry to get her car out of Canton that morning? Well, Paul, here's a thought. Here's a thought that I guess hasn't crossed your mind yet. At that point, when she was back at their house at whatever, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, whatever, her boyfriend's dead. It's a horrible, traumatic situation that they're all in. And not everyone knows what happened. And I believe this is around the time when Paul O'Keefe, it was unknown what happened here. Who did this? And Paul's mother immediately started making comments that seemed to insinuate that Karen did this. Karen Reed did this. So if you're Karen Reed and you just lost your boyfriend, he's dead, and you're in a house with the mother and the brother of the deceased, and it seems to be going down the road of you did this, you going to stick around? You going to stick around for that shit? Because I'm not. That's when I say, I'm going to get the fuck out of here now and go call a lawyer, because I don't like the direction this is going in. Like, that's what a grown-up would do, is just say, and you know what? I completely agree with this comment. I get the feeling the family doesn't care for Karen, and I get the feeling they never did. And that's okay. They're not the first people to dislike a loved one's significant other. But we do know that Karen Reed was the de facto stepmother for these kids. Like, appeared to do a lot for them. Like, appeared to be helping to raise them, because they didn't have a mother figure in their life. Their mother died. And this woman seemed to be kind of filling the void. And so I can picture a situation in which they didn't like that, in which they kind of looked at this woman who is a highly educated college professor and finance woman, probably owns a lot of pantsuits, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck this uppity bitch. That's probably how they looked at her. Like, I would understand that if that's how they looked at this woman. Is like, this woman's a little bit too uppity. She's not our type. Because John's side of the family, a little bit more blue collar. A little bit more blue collar. I don't know what Karen Reed's politics are. I have no fucking clue, nor do I care. But if gun to my head, I would guess she voted for Joe Biden. I'm just guessing. And I'm guessing that on the Albert side of this, I'm guessing there's a lot of Trump voters on there. I'm just saying. And that's what's unique about this whole thing, is I'm a Trump voter, right? I'm a conservative in this whole thing. And I've been told by a lot of people that the Alberts liked my blog as of like 6 weeks ago, that they liked Turtle Boy. they were Turtle. And I think that's why a lot of them messaged me.
Not now.
Like, I think that's why Chris Albert messaged me, is he was a fan of the blog and he understood the
Unfortunately, I
power
can't
that
read
the
your
blog
work
had.
anymore, sir.
And he's just like, I'm going to try to shut this down because, and I'm going to finesse him and be like, yeah, I'm a hardworking guy. You're a hardworking guy. All that shit, you know, blue collar, whatever, that whole spiel. Like, oh, the liberals, I guarantee you would have framed it as something like that. And I think what people don't understand about Turtle Boy is it's really not a political blog. Like, it's a blog that seeks truth and I don't, regardless of politics. Right. And if you were involved in covering up a murder, I don't care who you voted for. We're not on the same team when it comes to that. So I think that's how they viewed. I mean, that's just my guess. But I do know that these guys were turtle riders prior to this. Right. But I don't think they are anymore. So anyway, so let's go on here. So, and I think somebody asked, is that why she said it's unfortunate? I think he would have been like, oh, you don't want to write that. That's going to damage your reputation. You know, you got your Turtle Boy. You always get the facts right. You got this one wrong. You don't want to do that. I think I got it right. Yeah, Karen bailed Paul out of jail when he was involved in a DUI. Now they don't like, dude, I'm telling you, something's fucked up about this family. Like, I'm just saying. So he says she came to our house first. Her dad brought her and was with her brother, B sister. They were there for 30 minutes to offer their quote unquote condolences. That's where a lot of this comes from, is that his entire belief that Karen Reed did this seems to stem from the fact that Karen Reed and her family rubbed him the wrong way in the immediate aftermath of the death, because he's ignoring all evidence when it comes to this. And he's just focusing on pure emotion that these people they didn't seem right at the time. And so he's had it in his mind since then. She did it because she rubbed me the wrong way when this all went down. He goes on to say, they immediately took her car to drive it back to Dayton in a terrible blizzard, which is a 40-minute ride on a clear day. Again, what, they're going to hang out with you? They're going to get snowed in with you? You guys are accusing her of killing John. That's awkward as fuck, right? So why the fuck are they going to stick around with you? And I go, so let's talk about the evidence here, Paul. Did you see your brother's arm? You think that was caused by someone driving 5 miles an hour in reverse? He goes, the medical examiner was from another part of the state, as if that matters, completely impartial, and said those were not puncture marks or any indication of an altercation, but she's in on this too. No, Paul, she's not in on it. I don't think the medical, that's absurd. That's ridiculous. And this is what Lally has been trying to do, is paint people like me and people like Alan Jackson and David Yannetti as this absurd conspiracy theorists. No, that would be absurd to say that the medical examiner is in on the conspiracy. I agree. That is absurd. But she's working backwards here. First of all, medical examiners make mistakes all the time. Google it. Like, it happens all the time. And secondly, often they work backwards. So they get a dead body and they're told what happened to them. And so they have to explain how, given what they know about the cause of death, how it happened. And so if they tell them the examiner did it well after, it was widely accepted that Karen Reed hit him. So she's got to work backwards from the fact that Karen Reed hit him. I need to explain this. And she had a tough time. And I go, didn't you say that he looked like he went through 5 rounds of Mike Tyson? That's the rumor. Nope, that was Yannetti. Okay, sure it was. Okay, whatever you say. I go, no, she's not in on it, but she's clearly wrong. And he goes, she's the expert. We are not. And that really said a lot, though. She's the expert, we're not, because again, I did a whole rant on a previous stream, and it's like these people believe institutions, right? They believe in institutions. And so she's an expert. I'm going to trust her. But like, were you not paying attention during COVID? That's my biggest takeaway from COVID, was the experts aren't really that experty. Like Dr. Anthony Fauci really isn't that much more knowledgeable about COVID than I am. I'm just saying, these people were wrong about literally everything, and they insisted they were right, and they mocked you for questioning them, and they called you a conspiracy theorist. And guess what? You were right the whole time. So no, I don't just believe experts, medical experts, especially when they work for the government. No, I don't. Sorry. So no, I don't believe that the medical examiner was paid off. I just believe that she was given an outcome to begin with, and then she worked backwards from there. Like she didn't even consider it. If you want to be impartial, you give her the dead body and you say, we're going to give you no information about what happened here. Tell us what you think happened. She would have said something completely different. So I go, you honestly don't think those could have come from a dog? I don't. I mean, what do you say to that? When you look at those images, if you were to ask the general public, just anyone, do you think this came from being hit by a car going 5 miles an hour in reverse, or do you think it came from being chewed up by a dog? 99% would say the dog. That doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist. That makes you rational. That makes you, you're using common sense. It's absurd to still be holding on to that notion. And that, Paul, I know you're watching, Paul, and that is why the judge ruled in favor of Karen Reed's defense team yesterday. It is forcing them to hand over animal control records to the defense team. That's why. So they won that. So the judge, even the judge who clearly favors the prosecution, agrees that picture is something's up there. That something doesn't smell right about this whole thing. Goes on to say, I go, you think someone going 5 miles an hour? Okay, so let's move on to the Google search. Why did Jen McCabe Google how long to die in snow? He goes, she didn't. She didn't, he says. And you will see on May 25th. Will I? What do you mean I'll see on May 25th? What am I going to see? Because on May 25th, Rick Green is the expert who determined that you Google this. He's going to be the one to testify. And I've done my background research on Rick Green. He's very expensive. He runs a forensic analyst company out of Florida. He's one of the nation's foremost experts on this sort of thing. This is not his first court case he's been involved in this sort of thing. He's the guy you go to. He's an expert on this. And he's going to be like everything. He's like when Adam Lally cross-examines him, you think he looks stupid in the last hearing? Wait till you see how stupid he looks this time. I cannot wait for the cross-examination of this guy. What's he going to say? Because Adam Lally's entire explanation for the Google search was she was watching a YouTube video about her kid's basketball team at that time. And you can't have more than one you can't have more than one browser open. Even though she deleted it, by the way, she deleted it. So of course that's not going to be on there because she deleted it. And Rick Green found it. And he's going to explain how they found it. And by the way, like, let's not forget Alan Jackson and his associate Liza Little. These people got Kevin Spacey off. Every time I say they got Kevin Spacey off, it's like we all just think a lot of people have done that. Okay, so let's get that joke out of our heads. But they represented Kevin Spacey, and a lot of this stuff was the reason how he got off. I can't stop. Anyway, enough Kevin Spacey talk. You get the point here. These are people who are polished in this sort of line of questioning. They're going to make your government employee, Adam Lally, look stupid. And so if that's what you're counting on, Paul, it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. So he goes, blah, blah, blah about that. Anyway, he also goes on to say that Jen McCabe has been a great friend to the family for many years. Jen McCabe has been a great friend of the family? Since when? Paul, do you have any pictures of you and Jen McCabe? Do you have any pictures of your brother and Jen McCabe? Do you have any pictures of John and his good friend Matt McCabe? Do you have any pictures of those? Because I got pictures of the Proctors with them all. I got a lot of those pictures. But I haven't seen any pictures of John O'Keefe on his Facebook page or anywhere of any of that. Now, I have seen a lot of pictures talking to these fine folks here in court. I've seen pictures of this guy here with John O'Keefe before, and a lot of the people in the back with John O'Keefe. And it appears like they know him. They're not related to Karen Reed. They're friends with Karen Reed, a lot of those people. And they all seem to know John O'Keefe. And they're on Karen Reed's side. These are John O'Keefe's real friends. Enough of this shit. Every loser showing up to court with a Justice for JJ sticker is fronting. Unbelievable. This guy, Paul, is utterly blinded to the facts that seem obvious as daylight to everyone else. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that and my thoughts on that. But let's stick to the facts here for now. Is that we don't have any images of John O'Keefe with any of these people because they're not friends with him. Matt McCabe, when's the last time you hung out with John? Did you guys go bowling together? Did you play poker? Did you guys smoke weed? I mean, what'd you guys do? Go out drinking? Because John didn't seem to know many of you. Going into that house, the only one he seemed to know was Jen. And not even that well. But all of you guys are there all the time. But yet the people on Karen Reed's side, they all seem to know him real well. They went on vacations together. I've seen pictures of them all. They hung out socially. Those appear to be his real friends. And they were on Karen Reed's side. So why are like, and if you're Matt McCabe and Jen McCabe, and you really don't know this guy that well, like I'm trying to picture myself in this situation. So I have an acquaintance that I met a couple times, right? You know, I met him through like one of my kids' friends' parents. I met him a couple times. I saw him at a few birthday parties. We talked. We exchanged numbers, maybe even. We talked about getting together sometime. It never happened. It fell through, whatever. If my kid's friend's parent dies, I probably wouldn't go to the wake or the funeral. I would feel uncomfortable doing that because I'd be like, I didn't really know him well enough to do that. If they were murdered, I certainly would not go to any of their court hearings because I'd be like, I didn't know him that well. I'm not like taking all this time off from work to go to this court hearing for this guy who I met a handful of times. But they're there for every single hearing. Why are Jen McCabe and Matt McCabe there for every single hearing? Simple. The same reason that Jen McCabe was in the car with Karen Reed that morning that they were looking for John O'Keefe. Because they need to control the narrative. They need to see who's coming. And they need to keep especially a close eye and a closer leash on the O'Keefe family. If you go on Paul O'Keefe's Facebook page, he's got a real page. Go to his friends list. It's wide open. Type in the name McCabe. See who comes up. She's on there. Because I will guarantee you this. She talks to him regularly. All this bullshit he's talking on here, he didn't come up with this himself. He's getting this from Jen McCabe. She's putting this all in his ear. He's too much. And fuck you if you don't like the words I'm using. He's a simpleton. If you can't get that from reading that, that's just a fact. I'm not going to mince words and say like, oh no, he's actually a fucking intelligent thinker. He's really put a lot of thought into this. Yeah. This guy's a fucking genius. Yeah. Nothing gets by Paul O'Keefe. I'm not going to say that because it's untrue. He's a simpleton. That's what he is. And he's being taken advantage of by manipulative people who are playing him to protect themselves for their own self-interests. That's what Jen and Matt McCabe are doing in court there. They're keeping an eye on him. And I guarantee you, with me writing this blog, one of the reasons I didn't want to write this blog is because I know that Jen McCabe, when she saw this blog come out, she probably called him so fast and texted him, I'm so sorry, Paul. I don't know how he's doing this to you. I don't know why he's He's attacking you now? Oh, he's been attacking us the whole time. And now he's attacking you. But I'm not attacking Paul. I am attacking 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹𝗶. I'm not attacking 𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗶𝘀𝗃. I don't attack him in this. Yes, I called him. I said you'd have to be stupid to believe that Karen Reed did this, because you would be. You would have to be stupid. That is a fact, not an opinion. If you believe Karen Reed killed that man going 5 miles an hour in reverse, you're literally retarded. You're literally retarded. You should not be able to drive, vote, buy alcohol, do anything, drive a car, nothing. You're literally retarded. You should be able to do nothing. And so, yeah, I mean that 1000%. That is just a fact. So if you don't like it, kindly go fuck yourself. Kindly fuck off. I don't care. It means nothing. Your outrage means nothing to me, because I care about facts and truth. It's easier for everyone involved. Just put the blame on Karen, because a lot of lives are going to be ruined in the end of this. I'd like to address that, actually. And I've made that point before, that it is easier for everyone, right, to believe that Karen Reed did this. But is it? Is it? Is it easier for John's niece and nephew to believe this? Think about this. Like, they got to know this woman pretty well, right? They basically lived with her for a couple of years. She was a mother figure to them. And now they're being told that this woman who they bonded with and got to know as a role model in their life is actually a fucking crazy, bloodthirsty lunatic who murders people for fun and then comes up with conspiracy theories to cover her tracks. Is that really an easier solution for them to swallow? I mean, that's what 𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗃𝗃 is doing to these kids. And so 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗃 is not some innocent victim in this. By participating in this charade, he is hurting John's niece and nephew, his niece and nephew. He's hurting them because he's telling them they're lying to the kids. They're lying to these kids about what happened. 𝗵𝗶𝗃𝗃 is not innocent in this. At some point, you have to treat him like what he is, a grown-ass man. Stop infantilizing this man. It's been 16 months. Time to snap out of it, Paul. Time to snap out of it. And if you're not going to snap out of it, then at some point you become part of the problem. Enough of this bullshit. I mean, I'm reading these comments on the Facebook page, and I just want to tell these people, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just because a retarded thought goes through your head doesn't mean you have to write it on the internet. Shut up. God. Anyway, let's go back to this. So, like I said, I don't believe that they're great family friends. And so for him to say something like that, it's just like he's been told that by 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗃. And it's just done no research into, is that even true? Is that even true? They're playing him, and he's just too naive to see it. They're behind him in court, the same reason that they were in the car with him. Also, they need to be near, like, let's talk about Tom Beatty for a moment. Because Tom Beatty is, and they always accuse you, why aren't you talking about Tom Beatty? Why aren't you bringing him up? Heard he's having sex with Karen Reed. They love to do that. I got accused of the same thing by some Rizzitano skank. Leanne Rizzitano, you skank. You disgusting pile of shit. I've never seen a family more infested with trash than Rizzitanos. Just the trashiest. Not all of them. A couple of them are in box calling their cousins trash. I like to point that out too. Just trash. And they're telling, oh, you having sex with her? Is Tom Beatty having sex with her? That's when you know you got nothing. That's when you know you got nothing. Is when you talk about when you have to resort to that sort of gutter, whatever, tabloidism, because you got nothing. The facts aren't helping you out, so you start throwing shit around. So Tom Beatty is the person that 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃 called at 5:30 and then like 5:45 and I think 5:50, 3 times. And a lot of people are like, why was she calling him? Well, Tom has a daughter, and the daughter is Colin Albert's age. So they probably run the same social circles. It's Canton. They both played sports. They both probably party, etc. And I think that Jen McCabe, and we know that Colin Albert had spoken to or attempted to speak to his daughter, Tom Beatty's daughter, earlier in the night. Jen McCabe was doing what she always did, tying up loose ends. She also deleted the calls to Tom Beatty, by the way, because she doesn't want them being found. So Jen McCabe was calling Tom Beatty several times because she wants to find out, what does your daughter know? Like this woman, there's a reason she's at every court hearing. She is and she's so invested in the cover-up, and that's why she's got Reddington now. It's because she knows that they're watching her. She knows that she has to keep an eye on this, but she also has to protect herself now because people are onto her. And people know who she is. So anyway, let's get back to the conversation. He starts talking about Kerry Roberts. Kerry Roberts has been a great friend for even longer. Kerry didn't even know Jen before that day, but she's in on it too. And he's really trying to do this whole thing by making it seem ridiculous. Like you're saying Kerry Roberts in on it too? No, of course not. Kerry Roberts kind of like you, Paul. She's a moron. No offense. This is a moron. Like Kerry Roberts is a dog. Like she's a literal moron. And by the way, Kerry Roberts' husband isn't coming to anything. And Kerry Roberts' husband was also friends with John. He doesn't go to any of this shit. But Kerry does. Because Kerry is a moron. And so, no, I don't think she's involved in any sort of cover. I mean, how could she? She wasn't in the house. But I just think she's like you. Hasn't put any thought into this. A simpleton. Whatever. And I go, Jen McCabe was a great family friend. But she's covering up. She doesn't even know. She was like a brother to John. She has no... Okay, I don't want to talk about Kerry Roberts because she's irrelevant. There's her dumpy little ass right there with Paul O'Keefe outside court. So it goes on to say, I go, it's much easier for Paul to accept that Karen Reed accidentally hit him with her car and let him die. The alternative was that he was lured, ambushed, and beaten to death, and it's probably horrific to think about. So he wanted me to focus on Karen Reed. He goes, it sure sounds like you are. She was there that morning. Karen called her. She didn't even know Jen. I go, well, I'm not. So that's just a deflection to even suggest that. Let's talk about the Google search. How can you defend the Google search? Can you explain that one to me, Paul? Like, if you're this certain that she's not involved, you should have an answer for this right away. Why are they accusing Karen of banging her boyfriend's friend when it's Jen, a known swinger, fact, that called Tom multiple times that morning and has people harassing him to this day? He does. So Tom Beatty is basically the one guy, like, if you're not getting on board with Jen McCabe, remember the yearbook blog I wrote? That was an important blog because it showed who she is in town. You know, she's the hot bitch, believe it or not. She was the most attractive in Canton class in 1994. Slim pickings that year. And she is the woman that, like, if you don't get on board with her, you're not going to be in the cool kid class. You don't get to sit with her at lunch. You don't get to wear pink on Wednesdays. And Tom Beatty is not getting on board. They're not helping out with this whole thing. And if Kerry Roberts didn't do the same thing, she got treated the same way. I'd like to note that Paul didn't deny that he was naive and easily manipulated. No, he did not. He acted like he was insulted, like, poor me, you're being mean to me. Get over it. Matt McCabe is a public masturbator. Well, let's stick to things that we can prove. Let's not do that one. Okay. But what was that one I had up before? The first one I wanted to talk about, the comment about, so the Tom Beatty thing, like, so because he's not getting on board, this is why they're accusing him of sleeping with Karen Reed. Do you think Karen Reed has time right now? Like, or the mentality to, like, pursue a relationship with someone right now? Her boyfriend was killed. Why are they accusing? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Because sex is scandalous. And that's like, why do you think every time I report on a major story, I break it? What do the trolls talk about? Oh, we got videos of you, Turtleboy. Okay, congratulations. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. It's just a way for you to deflect because you don't have any facts on your side. Right. Exactly. Like that. That's exactly. It's like I have a hard time believing that. I do. Okay. Anyway, I go, you can't answer the question. I go, I get why you want to believe that Karen did this. It's a lot easier for everyone to swallow, no pun intended, than what clearly and actually happened. Okay, real quick. Let me just take a little break here. Why don't we do a little where are you repping? Let us know in the comments right now. Where are you watching the live show from tonight? Go ahead. I would hit that though. Stop it. Stop it. Extramarital affairs. Okay, Raynham is in the house. Buzzards Bay is here. Waterfall Bar is here. Reno, Nevada. Gloucester, North Providence, Lakewood Ranch, Florida, 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹𝗯𝗶, Clinton, Shawano, Wisconsin, Rome, Turner's Falls, Norton, Paxton, Mansfield, Woburn, Tucson, Canton, West Newberry, Marshfield. Holden is in the house. Wareham, Buffalo is here. Gloucester, Charlestown, Watertown is in the house. Joe Biden's secret document box stuck behind Giannetti and McDonald's is going to be a while. Canton, Hanson, Peabody, Louisville, Kentucky is in the house. Nice. Sturbridge is here. Worcester, Gardner, Arlington, Bedford, New Hampshire, Malden, Canton, West Virginia, Dartmouth, Springfield, Avon, Nashua, Plymouth, Sharon is in the house. South Florida, Saugus, Billerica, Bridgeton, Maine, East Bridgewater, Gardner, Worcester, Gloucester, Tennessee, Watertown, North Providence, outside Canton, Hudson, Massachusetts, Northborough, Leicester, Hingham is in the house. Sandersdale, Canton, Massachusetts. Okay. Cheshire, United Kingdom, Dover, Delaware, Taunton, the Woo, Mansfield, Westminster, Big Flats, New York, Wareham, Danvers, Kingston, Winchendon, Pawtucket, Marshfield, North Attleboro, Weymouth, Canton, Maui, Attleboro. Okay, sorry if I missed you. I can never get to them all now. I apologize. We're getting way too many where you reppins now. And I can't do all of them, unfortunately. But anyway.
You have some turtle chats and stuff too.
What was that?
You have some turtle chats too.
Yeah. Okay. What is this? Yeah. Let me read the turtle checks in one sec. What is this? If you're gonna send me a message during the show, let me know what it is so I know it. Okay. Especially if it's like a video. All right. Let me read a couple. Oh, so now the turtle chat donations appear to be working. Let me read some of these. Okay. We got here one from. Who's this from? It's just from Mary. She sends $25. No message, but thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate that. Here's another one we got from Kelly. Sends $50. Again, she didn't leave a message, but thank you very much for the dono.
Well, Kelly said it wouldn't allow them to leave a message, but they had wanted to know who Tom Beatty was, so you covered that.
Okay, there we go. Hopefully I answered that.
So anyone else has a question, put it in the comments if you sent in a dono.
Okay, yes, exactly. Thank you. John Z says, my question with my donation was, if 𝗟𝗏𝗃 was with Proctor when they went to Dighton and the Dighton police logs were requested, won't 𝗟𝗏𝗃 go down with Proctor? That's a great point. Also, those two state trooper assholes look like 𝗲𝗏𝗃 and 𝗲𝗏𝗃. They really do. But I don't believe that Proctor acted alone. How could he? That's a great question that other people have brought up. It's like, I think that Nicholas Guarino is just as shady as Michael Proctor. I do. I think that a lot of these, I think that the Ukrainian guy, 𝗟𝗏𝗃, I think he's just as shady. I do. I don't trust any of these guys. I think they all will protect each other and their own interests at all costs. And I believe that's what's happening. Let me check a couple more. We got a Cash App here from Justin, sends $25 and says, will you report on the New York City Marine subway case? I'm not sure what there is to report on. I mean, it's a disgrace what's happening to that hero, Mr. Penny, who was choked out, some absolute maggot who spent his life assaulting elderly people, causing chaos, and making New York a horrible, disgusting place to live. And one hero just wasn't going to take it, wasn't going to allow him to threaten people on the subway and put him in a chokehold. He resisted and he died. Okay. And this man has become a martyr for the left. Al Sharpton and AOC went to his goddamn funeral. Like, they give it, like, once you realize this is the kind of people that they worship, you'll understand. Like, how can you vote for that? Like, that's what they stand for. They don't give a shit about like the good Samaritan helping people out. They care about the crackhead piece of shit who assaults elderly people. They made that clear with George Floyd. I mean, they've made it clear to many people. This is the kind of people that they like. Disgusting. Disgusting. Oh, okay, gotcha. Who's David Sears? Oh, okay. You'll have to read that later. Okay. All right. So let me just make sure I didn't miss any of the donos here. Let's see. We got that from Kelly. Okay. We got no, it's an order. Okay. If anyone else wants to donate, I guess the turtle chat is working. You can click at the link at the top. If you click at the link at the top, donate whatever you want. Write a little message in it. If the message doesn't work, just send me an email, turtleboysports@gmail.com, and I'll read your message out loud to the class, or cash at me at $Uncle Turtleboy. Okay. All right, let's talk about the rest of this. Okay. So back to the messages from Paul O'Keefe here. We agree to disagree then. I go, the fact that it doesn't cross your mind that it might not have been her is sad. I hope if I'm ever murdered that my family doesn't blindly take an obvious lie that only very stupid people would believe. Was that harsh? Sure. A little harsh, but it's true. It's absolutely true. And that's the part I'm having trouble understanding here, is that if I was killed or if a family member of mine was killed, I would read everything. I would know every single aspect of the case, and so would everyone in my family would. Because how can you not? How can you not be obsessed with this if this happens to your family and know literally every detail? Because people on Karen's side seem to know every freaking detail of this. But people on the other side don't seem to know anything. They don't know anything, including the family. Now, I can understand the mother, I guess. She's older, and I'm sure this is, she's not built for this. But Paul, you're a young, spry man. Why aren't you knowing everything about this? You don't know anything about this, it seems. And like I said, at some point, you're one of a few things. Either you're lazy and you're just not looking into any of this. You're just don't give a shit, right? You're disillusioned, whatever the word is for that. Or you're just stupid. I mean, what else? There's no other conclusion a rational person can reach about that. So was that tough? Was that harsh? Sure. But look at his response to it. He goes, thank you for the insult. It's like, oh yeah, poor me. Poor me. Oh, you're insulting me. Well, good. Snap the fuck out of it. Snap out of it. Maybe you need that. You're surrounded by people who are treating you like a baby. And I'm not that guy. And you're willingly engaging in a conversation with me. So I'm going to tell you the truth. And I go, I assure you, what the McCabe's and the DA's office are telling you is much more insulting. Good for you, Turtle Boy. That's a good line right there. Because like what they're doing to you right now by telling you that, oh yeah, this is believable. Yeah, this story that we're going with, this is believable. They are insulting your intelligence. They're literally treating you like you're retarded, man. And I know you're not retarded, Paul. So stop being degraded by these people. I go, I feel bad for you. I don't need your pity, but thank you. I go, why didn't the Canton police find taillight fragments when they arrived at your brother's body? Does this look like a secure crime scene? Don't you think your brother deserves a thorough and full investigation? And that's one thing that would really piss me off if I was this guy. I would just say, aren't you mad that like your brother's life is supposed to mean something and the investigation into him is so bootleg? Does his life not matter? Like, anyone else gets killed, they cordon off the crime scene, they investigate and none of that happened with you, your brother. Not all avenues were looked into. And on top of that, it's quite obvious at this point that the lead investigator in this, Michael Proctor, has completely compromised this case and made it literally impossible for a jury to convict her. So if you truly believe in your heart of hearts that Karen Reed did this, which is absurd, then you, at the very least, you have to admit that Michael Proctor has screwed this up massively by not disclosing who he's family friends with, by not talking about, by intentionally misspelling words and lying. And you're not doing any of that. And like, you're not mad. Like if my brother or whoever was killed, or some loved one of mine, immediate family member was killed, and some dumb ass cop, and that's what Michael Proctor is, some dumbass cop comes along and pulls some shit that Michael Proctor is pulling and completely compromises the case, I am fucking rip shit about it. I'm like, you fucking dumbass cop motherfucker, you screwed this up. I would hate Michael Proctor more than probably Karen Reed hates Michael Proctor. I would despise him. And he just doesn't care. Whatever. Like, he just doesn't give a fuck. And at some point you have to say that out loud. Dude, how much do you care? How much do you care about your brother? How much do you care? Seriously. Because you are putting no effort into this whatsoever. And I have to wonder, like, I'm like, I don't understand this. I don't come from a family like that where we just don't care about each other. But you clearly don't care. Yeah, the red Solo cups. I'm like, you're not offended by that? That's how the evidence was stored, in a fucking red Solo cup? Jesus Christ, man. Then he goes, I go, don't you think your brother deserves a full investigation? He goes, I do. And I'm happy the FBI is involved. Well, that's interesting. Why do you think the FBI is involved, Paul? And that's like, oh, you said he's a simpleton. He is. Because if you can't figure out that the mere fact that the FBI is involved is because something is wrong with the way that the Norfolk County DA's office has handled this. They're not investigating Karen Reed. That would be the DA's office job. They're not there to investigate her. They're there to investigate the people investigating her. So if you're happy that they're involved, doesn't that mean, or shouldn't that mean, that you're happy that you believe that something nefarious is going on here? No, because that thought hasn't gone through his head yet. He hasn't thought about that. Oh, but you should let him grieve. Nah, fuck that. He's a grown man. Shut up. Shut up. Next person who says that, just shut the fuck up. Shut up. He's a grown man. He knows better. I'm not going to treat him. I'm not going to infantilize him the way you people are. Nope. I go, his loss has been bad enough for all of us. I really don't appreciate you posting the autopsy photos like you did. That obviously came from the defense, and you're working with them directly. Well, no, I'm not. First of all, I've messaged, you've seen my emails to David Yannetti. He's very brief with me, as you've seen. Doesn't really give me much to work with. And do you think these world-class attorneys are going to be, like, you know, compromising their own credibility like that? Of course not. Like, I'm not stupid. I try to get you. I've contacted them. They don't give me anything. So I work with, luckily, it's all in the court filings. Not that hard. And I talk to other people. I can get information without talking to them. So those, and those autopsy photos, like, they've put those out. They're there for the world to see. I can get those. I got sauces. And so, like, but enough with the autopsy photo shit. Like, the autopsy photos tell the story, especially the arm. Especially the arm. The world needs to see those. The second you see those things, you're like, oh, she didn't do that. And so why would you try to suppress that, Paul? Anyway, he goes on. I go, it was horrible what they did to him. They threw him out like trash. If the FBI comes back and indicts Proctor and McCabe, will your feelings change? That's my important question right there. But all he wants to talk about is, oh, boo-hoo, my feelings. The pictures. The pictures are harsh. Only immoral people would do that, and I don't even mean you. So immoral, you know what's immoral? Paul, you want to talk about immoral? How about, beating the shit out of some guy and throwing his dead body in the snow? Well, he still has a pulse. That seems a little bit immoral. You upset about that? How about deleting videos and evidence that could help convict the killer of your brother? That's immoral. But you lecturing them about morality, Paul, or just your local small town blogger? You should feel like you should be a little more upset about that. A little bit more upset. And I made the Holocaust comparison there too. It's true. Like, should we not have shown pictures of concentration camp survivors or dead bodies from the Holocaust because children were killed and it's really sensitive? Should we not show that? Because why? Will that hurt people's feelings that survived the Holocaust or lost loved ones in there? No, you need to see that. It's ugly what happened to John O'Keefe. And you cannot accurately portray that, the horror that he went through without showing those photos. You can't do it. And I'm not going to sugar. There's a reason the Jen McCabe's of the world don't want those shown. Think about why, Paul. Think about why. I know you could do it. You're a big boy. So I ask him again, if the FBI comes back and indicts Proctor or McCabe, will your feelings change? I really want to know the answer to that question. I don't know it. Are you how will he feel if that happens? Will he suddenly be Team Karen Reed? Wouldn't he have to be? He goes, I want to know what happened that night more than anyone. No, you don't. No, you don't, Paul. If you wanted to know what was happening, you would be doing your own investigation, but you're not doing it. I don't know what you do with your time, but it's certainly you're not invested in this. But I knew what happened before the troopers were involved when they took her car out of there in a blizzard to drive to Dighton. And that says it all. His entire thought process and his belief that she is guilty comes from the fact that she rubbed him the wrong way when she left John O'Keefe's house for good that morning, because things were getting awkward. And he hasn't thought, like, why did she leave? Probably because things were getting awkward. That would be my first guess. Just saying. And I ask him again, if the FBI comes back and indicts Proctor, will your feelings change? He doesn't answer it. I just ask that you be objective, which you should be as a journalist. I am. You've only looked at it from one side. No, Paul. No, Paul. I've looked over all the evidence. It's heavily slanted towards one side because they have most of the facts on their side. I respect how much attention and work you've put into this. And that's interesting. Like, I thought we were getting somewhere with this about like the respect factor. He's like, oh, he respects me. That's interesting. He goes, I also realized that this is the biggest story you have gotten and many clicks from covering his story. Just be objective. Well, first of all, there was a sheriff in Stinnett, Texas that had like 3 fiancés and a wife at the same time named Jason Collier. That's actually the biggest story I ever did. I got 1.4 million views on that blog. That was a big one. But this is I get it. This is a big story nonetheless. But that's not why I'm doing it. Like, I have obsessed over Kylie Kirkpatrick and Monica Cannon Grant and for years, and those blogs came with far less clicks than these ones. But I still obsessed over them. Mosaic Cultural Complex. Look them up. When I focus on something, I don't let go. So that's insulting, Paul. I go, I'm doing it because I truly believe your brother was murdered by these people. I feel horribly for him and for Karen Reed and your family. I'm not a stupid person. I went into this very objective. There's only one conclusion rational people could believe. I don't know Karen Reed. This isn't about her. She's expendable. Like, you could, if she didn't get blamed for this, someone else would have. It's about a corrupt system allowing a cop killer's murderers to roam free. A well-liked, heroic, adoptive father and uncle. I meant every word of what I said there about John O'Keefe. What he did was heroic. I go, I initially believed she did it too, but the new evidence is overwhelming. I get why you want to believe it's her. It's much easier, but you need to look at it objectively because I already am. So I ask again, if the FBI comes back and indicts Proctor and McCabe, will your feelings change? He doesn't answer it. I don't think you're stupid at all. I think you're intelligent. And you've, okay. So I'm not stupid. So that's interesting. And he goes, you've helped create a very interesting narrative, which a lot of people have believed because of, they want to believe in a corrupt, highly overt cover-up. That is a sexier story. Well, first of all, I would argue that the sexier story is the, you know, good-looking, successful college professor girlfriend killing him in a fit of rage. I think that's sexier if we're going to talk about sexy. Not the Brian Albert dog story. That's not, I don't think that's as sexy, but whatever. When he says that this, what he's saying right here is he's saying that like, you're only pursuing conspiracy thing because that gets you clicks. That I've helped create the narrative. No, the facts have helped create that narrative. It's a much more plausible story. So again, I ask him 2 more times. If the FBI comes back and indicts Proctor and McCabe, will your feelings change? Will it change? And again, I am not a conspiracy theory guy. I mean, I am to some degree, but not like I never, if you go back and watch the tapes, did I ever buy into the Dominion voting shit? Am I a Trump election denier, truth or whatever? No, I've never been that guy, ever. I don't believe 9/11 was a conspiracy. Like, I don't do that. I'm not an Alex Jones fan. Like, I've never been that guy. But this is just so obvious. And like, he's acting like the only people who believe this is a conspiracy are like Alex Jones type fans. But we're not like that. And that, where is he getting that from? Well, this is what he's being told by the ADA and Jeb McCabe. That's what he's being told. And they're just playing this guy. They're like, oh, thank God. Thank God this guy believes everything we say. Or else we'd be in a lot of trouble. I believe I did answer your question. If there's any type of real evidence pointing in a different direction, then I will pay attention. Hello? There's already lots of evidence, Paul. Pay attention. Like, dude, like, how long are we going to treat this guy like he's retarded? How long? Come on, he can't be this stupid. He's just not reading about it. And like, I'm sorry, if your brother gets killed and you're not reading all the facts, how much do you care? Like, seriously. He goes, he landed on grass, I pointed out. He goes, the ground was frozen. It was January. That's what we're dealing with here. So the frozen grass, somehow, it's like landing in lava or some shit. It's that dangerous. Frozen grass is that dangerous. If that were the case, then every freaking football game played in Green Bay in December would have multiple casualties. Because it's frozen. The grass is frozen. The frozen tundra. And everyone dies when that happens. It's dangerous. I go, what about the dog? I go, you believe backing someone at a low rate of speed will cause a human being to fall to the ground, cause a gash in the back of their head, and have their arm chewed up by a dog? You believe that frozen grass does that to the human body? Yes. Oh, okay. But the dog wasn't involved. Okay. Well, the ME said so. Are you in the defense more qualified than a trained professional? No, again, we've been over this. His head was bleeding and swelling from the skull fractures. That caused the eyes bulging out and bleeding from his nose. Okay. Or he could have been hit in the back of that. What about the gash? What about the gash? Does the frozen ground cause a gash like this right here? Did the frozen ground cause that? Like, tell me how the blades of grass were so frozen that they caused like a what? 3 or 4 inch gash right there. That the frozen ground did that. Oh. Okay. Sure thing. So anyway, he goes, his head was bleeding, blah, blah, blah. They caused the eyes bulging out. And then he goes, follow the phone. The phone, what, that they took from her? It will be public soon. Why isn't it public already? They're hiding something? And then he goes, you've made me think of that. because I do read your blogs, even though I shouldn't. John and Colin Albert never had issues. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's just an undeniable fact. Whatever Karen and Tom Beatty are feeding you is not accurate. Tom Beatty's another one. He won't return. I've tried to contact Tom Beatty. He won't talk to me. He doesn't want anything to do with this. There's Jen McCabe right there in court. Is that Paul? I can't even tell. But this woman, you know, how well did she know John O'Keefe? Oh, she's so sad. This is all people making it about them. This woman crying there, how well did she know John? This is just them having their moment. Oh, look at me. I'm so affected by this. Karen Reed did this to me. Why did you do this to me, Karen Reed? You made me all sad. Jen McCabe with the hand on the shoulder right there. It's fucking performative. It's all bullshit. Fuck these people. If Brian and Colin Albert did this, would you be upset with them? What do you think? I don't know. I want to know what exactly happened, as hard as it will be to hear. I don't think you do. I go, you're not ready to face the truth. I know what happened before any investigators spoke to me. Yeah, because we get it, because she rubbed you the wrong way. Okay. I have kept an open mind, as hard as that may be for you to believe. I don't think you have. Please do me a favor and don't exploit the kids. This is a straw man. I've never exploited the kids. I've never said their names. Unlike Jen McCabe, I didn't make my kids a part of this. He unselfishly altered his life drastically to care for our niece and nephew. I know. And you know who else did? Karen Reed also did. I'd like to point that out. They all went on vacations together. They did everything together. Who did her nails and shit? Who brought her to sporting events? Who did all that? Was it you, Paul? I don't think it was you. I think it was Karen Reed did a lot of that. And John. They both did it. So she seemed to care about them a lot. And now you're telling them that actually she was a murderer the whole time. Okay. Okay. He goes, I've been very respectful of their privacy. I would appreciate if it stayed that way. They have been through too much. They lost 3 parents. I go, yeah, he truly does, you know, and I say nice things about it because it's true. Okay. And I go, you were an easily duped person. That's all this was. I'm not an easily duped person. I go, to believe what I believe, you have to confront a much worse evil. But I get that you're not there yet. I'm grateful you're keeping an open mind, though. Neither am I. I don't know about that. And I respect your opinion. I believe she did it by accident. Now, this was interesting. I believe she did it by accident, but freaked out and tried to cover her tracks. He said this. I believe she did it by accident, but freaked out and tried to cover her tracks. Well, Paul, what you're describing there is not murder. What you're telling me now that you believe she did was accidentally kill him. So that begs the question, like, so you don't like that right there is him saying, I don't believe she murdered him. That is literally what he just said there. I don't believe that she murdered them. So what did I put? What did I put in the messages? So let me see here. I want messages to come up here. Can I zoom in on this? Let me pull this up over here. So I want to show you this message I got from a Rizzitano. This is typical of this family. All right. So this woman's been messaging me for a while here. She goes, hi, I have liked your stories for a while, but I felt compelled to reach out regarding to one of your articles on John O'Keefe. I obviously have issues with some of your info, like Karen being a pseudo stepmother to the kids. Well, she was. Let me make this bigger. She was. It's just a fact. So it goes on to say, blah, blah, blah. I go, imagine how hurtful it's going to feel when she finds out that her son was beaten and left to die in the snow. I don't necessarily think her hurt will change no matter what happened. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Imagine losing both of them. You know, you find the truth, set Turtleboy records, and collect a bigger paycheck this month to publish the story. But respect the deceased in the process. This whole idea I'm not respecting the deceased is ridiculous. You're not respecting the deceased. He goes, I happen to notice that you haven't really mentioned Tom Beatty in all of your stories. I find that odd. Jen McCabe called him first thing in the morning, according to phone records you posted, right? Why did she call him? How do you know he wasn't involved? I've addressed the Tom Beatty thing several times. I have a lot of questions. You should dig into that guy. If Jen called him immediately, he is obviously guilty too, right? No, it just doesn't mean that actually, but go ahead. Still curious. And again, I don't check this account that much, so don't message me on this if you want to hear back from me. Any investigating on Tom Beatty, his role doesn't add up here. Also, Karen and John were absolutely broken up. This is a fucking complete lie. And this is what they're trying to push. The Rizzitano trash bags are trying to push that John was broken up with Karen Reed. That's a fucking lie. They were not broken up the night it occurred. I know that as a fact. I've seen the evidence to the contrary. But this is the thing that they're trying to push to make you believe that they were broken up. Then why the fuck were they out at all? I've seen shit. I know shit. I know shit you don't know, Leanne. But I'm sure it was, if your source is connected to Karen, she'd claim otherwise. These are just people who want to trash Karen Reed. That's all they're trying to do. Since she wasn't the one that ended it, and it certainly didn't want it to be over. But that'll all come out in court. They always said that'll all come out. When? It's been 16 months. When is that going to come out? I can't wait for the 911 call to come out. That's what I really want to hear. I want to hear Jen McCabe, her voice on the 911 call. Maybe I have heard it. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. Not saying it matters, doesn't change the narrative that you're portraying, but you're so adamant that the media is lying that piece of info and they were still together. So I just wanted to help you have the correct facts. No, you're lying. And that's why I know you don't give a fuck about your cousin, because you're lying about him right now. Like, I have mentioned him. I know exactly what happened that morning. And they were not broken up. And it's pretty gross how you continue to find ways to stand up for the people who killed your family member. He deserved better than that. Like, this dude got murdered by a house full of corrupt cops, and your biggest worry is Tom Beatty and whether or not they were broken up. God, you're a horrible, disgusting person. I feel so bad that you are what qualified as his family. Whatever you say, boss. Happy to discuss in person on Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing the man behind the computer. Spoiler alert, she doesn't confront me. Anyway, I'm like, did you visit him in the home? Like, did any of you people, did you babysit? I don't know. When did I blame Karen in any message I've sent you? Oh, right. Yeah, you totally weren't blaming Karen there. I have intentionally not shared my opinion with you. I know what your opinion is. So anyway, I go, murder is everyone's business. I was highlighting that they were broken up because you were hell-bent on saying they weren't. Doesn't mean they can't still hang out. That's right. So that's what they were doing, you fucking dumbass. I mean, seriously, this is his family messaging me and saying, well, why were they out at a bar together that night? Why did she go back to his fucking house? Why did she have her clothes there and shit? But they were broken up. Oh, right. They were broke. How fucking stupid do you have to be? This woman is, this is how little the Rizzitanos actually give a fuck about John O'Keefe. It's like their fucking cousin's dead. And they're just like, my number one thing is Turtleboy. And just telling Turtleboy that they were broken up and just lying to Turtleboy. That's what I'm going to do. Jesus Christ. Should we call her? Let's call her. I'm sure she's watching right now. I'm just going to call her.
It's past 11, man. She's not going to answer.
Well, whatever. Come on, Leanne. What is that? I don't like a booty call. You don't booty. You go right
We
home.
can't hear you.
The
You're breaking in and out. We can't hear you.
I'm breaking in and out. All right.
I couldn't hear what you said. I heard booty. That's it.
All right. Anyway, booty calls anyway. So let's go back to this. Yeah, you know, it's like, so, I mean, here's my question for Leanne. If they were broken up, if Paul O'Keefe believed they were broken up, then why did he think it was weird for Karen Reed to leave their house in the morning? Right? Because they were broken up. So why the fuck would she be at the house at all? Right? You can't have, like, everything these people do is a contradiction of something else. Nothing makes sense. I go, wow, you can't even condemn his killers. They weren't broken up. It's a provable lie. You wouldn't know since you never visited him. Tell Karen I said hi. So I messaged her back. I'm like, did I see you there? Yep, I saw you. I'm not sure if you saw me. I go, I saw a lot of assholes and hypocrites there with justice for JJ buttons who are actively looking to provide cover for the people who killed him. Wow, assholes and hypocrites. Without actually talking to all of them. I tried to talk to some of them, but they didn't have much to say. Out of curiosity, how does wearing a pin that reads justice for JJ make us assholes and hypocrites? Because you're not looking for justice, stupid. I'm missing how suddenly that's synonymous with Karen's guilty. Because you're there at a fucking court hearing for Karen Reed, you dumbass. Like, stop playing dumb, Leanne. Stop playing dumb. How am I wasting my time on Karen Reed? Because you're going to her court hearings. I'm supporting John. I would like to know who did it. Like, there's a lot of this coming from his family about, like, I'd like to know who did it. Then read the fucking court documents, stupid. And then you'll know. Nor have I ever claimed to be. It's you that keeps saying that, not me. And as I've stated, I will sit on the prosecution side of the courtroom regardless of who the defendant is. So basically, I'll do whatever the state tells me to do. Okay. Sweetheart, I don't need to proclaim my opinion on social media or YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nor do I need the validation of subscribers or donos to justify my thoughts and opinions. Just because you don't see me parading around doing live streams and calling people assholes doesn't mean I don't want answers. You definitely don't want answers. Okay. And I go, I get it. You believe whatever Adam Lally tells you to believe. Then she goes, I inadvertently hit the thumbs up. Okay, whatever. I've never spoken to Adam Lally. He's never told me anything. Thinking for myself actually happens on the regular. I don't think it does. And then she sends me a link to the blog about Paul. And she goes, in the first screenshot, he literally says he thinks she hit him and didn't mean to. But then you take his words out of context for a story. Stupid. Let me explain this to you really slowly because I know you're not smart. I did not take his words out of context. He said that he didn't believe she did it on purpose. And the title says, Paul O'Keefe says Karen Reed didn't murder his brother. That's what he said. By saying that it wasn't on purpose, he's saying she didn't murder him. I know words are hard for you to understand, but understand them you will. Are you just trying to, then it comes to this. Are you just trying to sleep with Karen like you did with the previous case? Okay, sure thing on. That's where we're going with this, huh? Because he's a good person, that he sees the best in people. He doesn't want to think she did it on purpose. But nowhere in that conversation did he say he didn't think she did it. He said he didn't think she murdered him, stupid. Okay. But anyway, that's exactly, basically, she takes offense to the idea that I pointed out that Karen Reed might not have murdered him. And she takes offense to that. So she's trying to do this whole thing where, oh, yeah, you know, I'm keeping an open mind about this. No, you're not. You've completely made up your mind. Anyway, let's get back to this. We're almost done with this. We'll get through this stuff. Okay. Do we need to block these people? What people? We don't need to block them.
There's like the Q squad of people who can't use the right form of your in here, calling you a fraud and a liar and a scumbag and everything. Not one of them. There's been like 10 different screen names. Not one of them can spell your right. It might be Janetti. I don't know.
The your squad. Let them stay.
Damn. They ain't bringing the best no more.
Yeah. They never usually are. Actually they are. And that's
What's left.
Okay. So let's get back to these messages here. So he goes, I believe she did it by accident, but freaked out and tried to cover her tracks. Even if you did believe that, and a commenter made a good point about this, wouldn't you be sympathetic towards her if she did, like if you believe that she loved John and that she accidentally did this, wouldn't you have a little bit of empathy for her in that case, instead of just accusing her of being a murderer? Because that's what she's being charged with, murder, not accidentally doing this. She's being charged with doing it on purpose, which she would have had to do because her camera would have been going off. Like when you back into somebody, it goes off like crazy. If it gets beep, 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 and she's like, fuck it, gas it. Yeah. Okay. I'll confront anything. Trust me on that. I just know what I know, and this entire thing didn't need to turn into a circus the way it has. And I'm like, you realize she was in trauma, right? More like guilt. Okay. He goes, I'm glad the FBI is involved. Blah, blah, blah. Let AJ handle it. So I start sending him more clips. I'm like, you know what? After this happened, I'm like, okay, this guy it was interesting that he reads every blog, listens to every show. Seemed to be part of him that was like, believes me, right? And believes the truth. And he wanted to engage me. So I'm like, okay, this guy's got an open mind. Let's see. And so I'm going to keep sending him stuff now. Like, what do you think of this? And he just doesn't respond to any of it. Why do you think the FBI is involved? There's nothing to those allegations. What about the Trooper Proctor stuff? Any comment about that? He lied about that. He just doesn't answer. So don't tell me that you have an open mind, because you're just not answering any of this. And yeah, I did bring up his DUI. And fuck you if you don't like it. Okay? It is hypocritical of a man who did this. A 74-year-old man was seriously injured in this accident in which he got shit-faced drunk during the middle of the day at a golf tournament and nearly killed a man. Look at this freaking car. Look what he did to that thing. An elderly man was in that car. And what did he get? He got an attorney named Diamond, and he basically got one charge of a not guilty finding, because I don't think he ever took a breathalyzer. And he got, you can get off on a DUI if you get the right attorney, basically. And he's been on probation. He's on probation right now. Okay. And you know who bailed him out of jail? Karen Reed did. Not his mother, not his wife, none of them. Karen Reed bailed his ass out of jail. And now you have the audacity to feign outrage about drunk driving when you literally, and I'm sorry, that's low, Turtle, bringing that up. No, it's fucking not. No, it's fucking not. You don't have the right to sit in a courtroom and pearl clutch about a woman allegedly drunk driving, hurting someone, if you've done the exact same fucking thing. Fuck you. Fuck you. And your hypocritical bullshit. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not attacking Paul O'Keefe, but I'm keeping it real. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm keeping it real. And I'm not like one of you assholes out there, whatever. And so I keep messaging him. And all he does is make it about him. Why did you come after me on your show? Oh, yeah, you're the victim here, Paul. Boo-hoo. You came after me. Oh, boo-hoo. You brought up my DUI. You came after me. And I'm like, I keep asking him questions. He's like driving home from the Celtics. And so I'm like, horrible game. Horrible game. It's like, but I bet you Karen Reed would like to go to a Celtics game, but she can't. She can't. Because the team that you're supporting took that right away from her. You say you want justice on this case. The real victim is my brother, because he isn't coming back. Agreed. Me and my family are also victims. You know, like the victim card is running out, Paul. Like at some point, the victim becomes the aggressor. The victim becomes the aggressor. It was an unfortunate car accident. You decided to talk about my DUI, an unfortunate car accident.
Unfortunately, because you were wasted. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, you were pissed drunk at 3 p.m. Unfortunately. Don't you hate when that happens? You just unfortunately get pissed drunk. But he doesn't have that same energy with Karen Reed. She's a cold-blooded murderer, right?
Absolutely.
In charge of murder. And you're sitting in the courtroom supporting this charade. You are not advocating for the victims anymore if you decide to go after them. Oh, yeah, go after me. Don't criticize me. I'm a victim. I feel as though I've been very respectful of you in our exchanges. You've ignored all of my messages. I don't think that's respectful. Okay? But if you decide to do that, because I don't agree with the theory, I will no longer be responding to your messages. That's him saying like, oh yeah, you're lucky to be talking to me. I'm not going to respond to your messages anymore. If you're mean to me, if you're say your honest opinions about me, I'm cutting you off, sir. You no longer have access to Paul O'Keefe. Well, Paul O'Keefe, I feel like I've figured out everything I need to know about you. I don't really even think we need to talk that much anymore. I get it. You are, and Paul, I just want you to know this. 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗃 loves you. She's like, you are the biggest gift she's ever gotten. And she's fucking playing you. And a few months from now, when this is all figured out, you're going to feel very fucking stupid, as you should, because you are really fucking dumb when it comes to this shit, and really lazy too. Like, I'm insulted by the fact that your brother died and you give such little of a fuck to look into like what he did, like, you know, how this happened. I'm insulted by that. As a brother myself, I'm insulted by that. And he's avoiding it. He ended up blocking me. Long story short, he blocked me. So I don't know. You guys, I'm gonna do a little poll question here. I'm gonna do a poll question and see what people say in the comments of this. All right, I'm gonna start a poll. Let's see what it says in 1 second.
You have another dono too. I'm looking for a question.
All right, I'll check it out 1 sec.
And the Nuggets won. Did you see?
They did? Oh, so that series is over. It's gonna suck. We fucking lose. That's all I'm saying. All right, so just posed a poll question there. Voting it out. Do you think it was wrong for me to blog about my conversation with Paul O'Keefe? I'm generally curious what people have to say about this. And I'll read a couple donos in the meantime. Oh, I got a bunch of turtle chats. Let me read some of these. They're going to be so mad. Leanne Rizzitano is going to accuse me of doing this all for donos and clicks. Oh, yeah, that's the only reason I'm doing it. The fuck?
Maybe the Rizzitanos are all the people under different random screen names who don't know how to use the right URL.
I think a lot of them are 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗃 too, quite frankly.
A lot of them didn't graduate like 6th grade, apparently. Look at this one.
Turtleboy is worse. Oh, that's a Peter eater. I've seen
that one is. Yeah, there's a bunch of the same.
Well, she mentions the fact that she mentions chili. It's just like nobody knows. Yeah. Nobody cares about chili. Nobody cares about K. Peter. Okay. See ya, but it's nice to see you're still here, that you stuck around. We love you. Okay. Let me read some turtle chats here. First one is from Mr. sends $10. He goes, 1.4% of Rendaz's hourly. Does Karen Reed have a LDF? I don't know what that means. Thoughts on dump truck getting knocked out of the first round of getting knocked out of Ratchet Madness. My thoughts on that is fucking bullshit. First of all, that's the only time I get mad about Turtle Riders. I get really mad is when you guys make the wrong call on Ratchet Madness, and you've done it a lot this year. How does Brett lose in the first round? I understand he was going against Tanya Fernandez Anderson. How does Brett lose in the first round? It's like, seriously? Come on. And some of these, like, there were some ones on there that I'm like, oh, dude, this person's so fucking ratchet. Turtle Riders, just vote him out. There's some people that have no business being, like, a couple of these. in the Sweet 16s, I'm looking at like, okay, I'll give you a couple beefs I have. Like, okay, which one was I really upset about? Oh, Tommy 12-Step and the Slam Squid. They were a 6 seed. I had them in the Final Four. They're out in the first round. It's bullshit. Yeah, Dump Truck losing to the West Warwick Grammy Gangster. Give me a break. Give me a break. I call shenanigans on that one. I like the Krusty Panties one. That's a good one. Oh, the Quincy Queef Jerky one. You guys voted out the woman who filmed herself and her daughter beating the shit out of a 12-year-old and stomping on her face. You guys voted her out. She didn't even make the Sweet 16. Get it together, Turtle Riders. So that's my thoughts on Ratchet Madness. But whatever. I respect the will of the people. You guys did. At least you guys put some thought into it. Peter sends $10. No comment or anything, but thank you, Peter.
So you can't.
Next
The
one.
comments aren't going in. They're not going in.
No, some of them are coming in. We got K Stowe sends $10 and says, "Where were all the trolls on today's blog?" Crickets. Yeah, on today's
In the chat,
blog.
apparently.
Yeah, Karen Reed won her motion to get the animal control records from Canton, which means the judge believes that he was eaten by a dog, which means the judge believes that he was in the house, which means the judge believes that Karen Reed didn't kill him, which means things are going bad. That was a really bad thing for the Justice for JJ people, but of course they won't think that one through at all. That will change nothing for them because they're stupid. I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in court. All right, next one. Erica sends
Eric. Oh, they're good timing. Nice.
Erica sends a hundo. Thank you very much, Erica. She goes, I could go out for a shitty dinner and movie for more. Thank you for all you're doing. Quick question. What will the animal control reveal? Chloe wasn't a canine. I thought the dog was just rehomed and there was no influence. No, so it will reveal where the dog was rehomed to, that information. It will also reveal the other alleged incident in which Chloe allegedly, the reason they claim they gave up the dog is the dog attacked some fucking other chihuahua or some shit like that. They'll have records of that. I don't believe that even happened. So there's that. That's what I believe. So thank you very much. Next one is from Jessica. Sends $50. Says, will you use the word moron instead of retarded? Look at, so I apologize, but I don't really for using the word retarded. It's one of 3 words that I brought back. I brought it back a few years ago, and like words that my mother wouldn't like. And a lot of people say you can't say those 3 words are retarded, cunt, and faggot. Sorry. I'm not giving up those words. I'm not doing it. I like them too much. I never said the N word. I never did that. I don't like the N word. I don't like the way it sounds, but there's something about the way the word, especially when you're from New England and you say retarded, it's just something about the way it rolls off the tongue that just sounds right. It's like the perfect word to describe it. And it's not insulting to retarded people.
No,
it's not
at all.
It's like, just stop being retarded, you know? It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And we used it growing up in different contexts.
And cunt is a great one too. And I think faggot's a great one too. I love those words. And I'm not giving them up just because the PC crowd says I can't. I'm not doing it. So, all right, back to, but Jessica, I appreciate the dono, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Raising Mayhem sends a hundo. Thank you very much, Rayhem. And he just says, get him. That's my plan, sir or ma'am. Megan sends $5 and she goes, have people who know the Alberts and McCabe's been reaching out to you with other stories about them? If so, what is the general public opinion about them? I've wondered if they are well liked in town. That's a good question. Definitely people who have known Brian Albert have reached out and said that the guy is a notorious hothead. He's just an asshole. Everybody has negative things to say about Brian Albert. Everyone has negative things to say about that man. Like nothing good is coming out of that. So as far as Jen McCabe, it's been a general consensus. She's just the town cunt. Again, a great word, right? I mean, perfect. She's the town cunt. So there's that. Lauren sends $10 and says, sorry for sending you bullshit while live. I'm adjusting to the time zone. Here's my, you don't have to apologize. I just didn't know what it was. Let's see. Trevor Gray Says Turtle Chat wouldn't let me leave a message. I donated 25. I just wanted to thank you for all you're doing to expose the truth. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Glad to help. Brian sends $10. Says if you misspelled any name in an official police report, regardless of whether it is an identity theft report or homicide report, a supervisor would return the report to the officer to correct. 4 names, actually. 4 names. Come on. And that's what every cop has told me about this. So we don't spell names wrong. It's like a big no-no. Big no-no. And they keep doing it. So that's shady as shit. Do we have any cash apps here? Yeah, Jennifer Francis sends $10 and says, we need your journalism. Keep up the excellence. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. So, I mean, I could talk about the story all night, folks. What, do you guys have any other questions you'd like to talk about? Go ahead.
Oh, Aidan, LDF, by the way, is Legal Defense Fund.
Oh, yeah. So I can't do that. I can't share a Karen Reed Legal Defense Fund because that would be literally what they're accusing me of, is colluding with the defense. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not. And plus, how would I get it to them? That would require direct communication with Karen Reed, would it not? Can't do it. Can't do it. As much as I'd like to help, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I think Karen Reed is like, this is a horrible thing that's happened to her, but this is also an investment. Like paying all that money for, somebody said tens of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands for David Yannetti and Alan Jackson is an investment. I think when this is all said and done, she is going to sue the fuck out of a lot of people. I think Matt McCabe's company is in trouble. I think a lot of shit's going to be owned by her after this, when it's all said and done. The town of Canton, all these insurance companies are going to have to pay a lot of money to her. And I think whatever she's paid in legal fees will be made back tenfold. And she will have the ability to be a public speaker, I think, for the rest of her life. She's going to have a new career, and I think she's going to do very well for herself. Yeah. And that's not even counting the Netflix deal, which I know is coming. I need to know what happened tonight in Canton. Oh, thank you. Actually, let's talk about that. So, got some images here I want to share with the class. Let me bring up some images here.
Statica.
The staticky, because I got the fucking
it's only when you buy that. Yeah, you're right by that cord.
Okay, so let me bring up a couple images here that I just need to share with the class. Okay, that people, what's this? I'm going to save that video. Save this video. Good stuff in these. Okay. I haven't had a chance to look at some of these videos, but I'm going to send them to myself so I have them. Again, bear with me while I do this. Okay. Because there was something going on at 1473 Washington Street, Canton, Massachusetts today that I feel like is relevant to discuss here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Send those and send. What else do we have here? Oh, there it is. Okay, there's the picture I was looking for. All right, I'll bring these up. One moment while I bring these up. I'll log out of this account. I could have stayed on that account. Come on. Come on. Fucking Facebook. Give me one sec. All right. So basically, the house that Tim Albert owns, that Brian Albert used to own, that Jen McCabe's family used to own prior to that, where a pool was dug up, if you'll recall, or not dug up, filled in. A couple days after? When was that pool filled in? Like a couple days after they were publicly named in court, coincidentally. Yeah. There was some action at that house today. We need to talk about that. Let me download these pictures real quick to show you guys what we saw at the scene, and then I will share them with the class. Give me one moment. Oh, these are crazy. Wait do you see what's going on at that house today? So I have it from sources that Brian Albert, that they have installed a camera system at that house, and that Brian Albert, Tim Albert, Chris Albert, and all sorts of other Alberts are seen, Kevin Albert too, the Canton cop, are seen going in and out of that house a lot lately. Brian Albert may even be living there. We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure, but something's going on there. So let's bring up some pictures about what is happening there today. Stop screen. So check this out. What's going on here? This is actually yesterday. Look what's in the backyard of that house where the pool was. What's that? Anyone, what does that look like to you, Deb? I don't know.
Looks like some sort of construction backhoe thing.
Yeah.
Somebody to dig up the grass, huh?
Yeah, use
There's
a
a hoe in that yard.
So the pool that they filled in with dirt, which isn't shady at all.
No.
Well, now there's what's going on back there? Again,
having second thoughts. That
fence. They never filled in the fence. That's interesting. Here's another angle of it. Boom. What's going on there? I don't know. Or what's happening back here? Oh, there it is. There's some shit going on there. That's very interesting. And by the way, this is the whole Albert family from a while back. Not the whole family. Coke is missing from this. So this is obviously Brian Albert right there. That's Brian Albert Jr. He's a big boy. That's Brendan Albert, like a star football player at Bridgewater State now, or another fighter. That's Jack Albert, who is I don't know where I think he's a year older than Colin, so he's probably like 20. He's in a lot of pictures. Did he drop his phone? Is it staticky? Okay, I'll get the phones out of there. Okay, hopefully it stops. You're not being a cunt. That's Jack Albert. That's his twin sister. I think that's Kayla Albert. That's the woman, Caitlin Albert, who somehow has a job as an investigator for the Attorney General's office. And there's Chloe, the family dog, who nobody seems to know the whereabouts, who they just decided one day that we need to get rid of this fucking dog for no fucking reason at all. Okay. So yeah, there's them. What else do we got going on over here? We got some more pictures. What's happening? Oh, this is, I mean, dude, most athletic family by far. This is what Jack Albert writes. There's Colin. There's Jack. They're cousins. And these are McCabe girls. Like they consider themselves family because they are. Like they run the fucking town. So again, I don't know who's living in this house, but you know, I don't know if anyone whose car that is. That's at the house now. Here's another car that's at the house now. People want to run the plates. That's who's in the house. So I've also got a couple videos here that were sent to me. Do I have those? They think they are the. I mean, it literally is O'Doyle rules. I've made that joke before, but it's the most accurate way I can describe what's happening here. Okay, so thank you for those who sent those images and those videos. We got our own PIs on the case, and we'll share the rest later. But anyway, anyone else have any more questions they want to talk about?
I had one. Oh.
Anyone know what happened in West Roxbury with Andrew Johnson? So Andrew Johnson was arraigned, and basically his court-appointed attorney did the same thing that Krusty Panties did and tried to make it all about me. Your Honor, he's, going after, and I have put in for the audio, so I'm going to play the audio when I get it. You'll hear it in a couple days when I get it. I'll wait.
I love audio time.
We'll save it till Tuesday. I'll play the audio. Anyone else have any other questions they want to ask? What's up with Kylie? Her case got pushed back another week because that's what she always does. Most people have aggressive dogs because they want them. Exactly. Like the dog didn't just suddenly become a problem. The dog was the way it was for the whole time. Now they're like, and by the way, you know what they've replaced Chloe with? A German Shepherd.
Wow.
There's a new dog called Jax that lives with 𝗟𝗲𝗴𝗹 now. And it is a different, I looked at the face. It's not Chloe. Somebody sent us, posted a video of the dog on Snapchat, and we're like analyzing it. Like, was that fucking Chloe? Nope. It's Jax. They got a new German Shepherd because of course they did.
Where does Caitlin live? Doesn't she live far away too? Like, so people haven't really noticed that they had another dog.
I'm not sure. I mean, she lives in Massachusetts somewhere. She works for the AG's office. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
People saying you need to move your straw because it looks like it's going up the Turtleboy's ass.
I think I'll move it even closer then.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck am I watching? They never put the panel back. Okay, that's distracting.
Oh, the fence they're talking about.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, just get used to the turtle thing. It's gonna happen. Nobody from Kmart Mafia has inferred a threat to you yet. No, they wouldn't dare. They know better than that. They know that shit wouldn't work with me. Oh, Chrissy, I almost forgot about her. To be perfectly honest, I haven't really thought about her much and the horrible thing she did to me because I'm over it. We're moving on to bigger and better things.
Like grown-ups.
Yeah. I mean, I still want to see her burn.
Oh, yeah, but it's not consuming you.
I hate Chrissy. Chrissy's not suing me.
What? Oh, I said it's not consuming you. Like,
it's not consuming. Oh, I thought you meant suing me. Oh, right. Exactly. Are all the cases good now? No. I mean, I'm still being sued by Julia Mejia. I'm still being sued by James Monroe. Tony Branch is still appealing his bullshit. No, that never ends. Ryan
Waters is still outstanding. Ryan Waters
still trying, but whatever. It's not letting it consume me. It's like I have bigger things to worry about. All right. Anyone else have any questions? No? Let me just check the donos, make sure I'm not missing anyone here. Turtle chats. No, I think we're good on that end.
I don't know if you have any cash apps, but check.
No, I didn't. And I don't want to get the phone too close to the.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Scott Starboard has a great question. Oh, what does he say?
What are the 3 pieces of evidence the judge denied? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, when you were reading that the document, remember how like there was the circled ones that the judge wouldn't let?
Yeah, those were all like he denied the access to conversations between all messages between Michael Proctor
all of them
and people in the house. Yeah, that was the stuff that was denied. And that was before the how long to die in cold message too. So yeah, Ryan Waters will never go away. But luckily what he's doing now is he's just filing so many motions and just going so fucking crazy in these courts that everything is just getting denied on the spot now. Like I'll never have to worry about Ryan Waters again because it's just going nowhere. And he's self-imploding. It's great. Was the concrete removed or just the flooring? Just the flooring. You could probably lumen all that house and the shit will still be there. Ricardo Arroyo throwing Rollins into the... I don't think he did that. I thought he was very careful in his wording. Oh, yes. Your turtle model. Yes. Adding turtle model to my resume. Tina is. She looks lovely, folks, in that Google shirt. Everyone should get one. Have any media contacted you about your input on... God, no. God, what do you think? What do you think? Again, maybe Paul's in shock survival mode. The statute of limitations on that has run out.
Yeah, at this point, no, don't worry.
He's a grown-ass man. He's 40-something years old. Stop infantilizing him. At some point, you have to wake up and smell the coffee that this guy's part of the problem. And you cannot, like, I feel bad for him. His brother died, but like that sympathy card has run out. It is expired. Why haven't the FBI went into 30? We don't know what the FBI has done. So we'll see. But the mere fact that the judge wrote that 5-page memorandum and put all that effort into it, to me, is indicative that she knows she's being watched by the FBI as well. And that she wants this by the books. Why was his income 6 times less? I have no idea. None. Okay. Anyway, I got to go take a leak, so I'm going to end this now. But thank you guys for joining me, and another great show, another big audience tonight. It's nice to see you guys all invested in this like we are. But we will see you guys for the next episode of the live show on Tuesday night. I'm probably not going to do a
Wednesday, probably, right?
Oh, right. Wednesday. Yeah, because of the fucking Celtics. We might, because we might get swept on Tuesday. So, yeah. So anyway, we'll talk, guys. Peace, Turtle Riders.
Have a good night.